All right, so welcome back to the Pop Pump Podcast. This is episode 8, I think. I'm Michael.
And this is Chase.
And okay, this is basically kind of going off what we were talking about last week with just like TV shows being terrible and stuff like that. Because now The Boys is over now, so now we can actually talk about it. And
I saw some memes.
the on IMDb right now, the finale has a 5.9.
Really?
And it was at like a 6.7, I think, day one. And it's been like gradually dropping since then.
Yeah.
And
Surprised, but
I think I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people are actually just kind of like hating on it to hate.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Because if you go look at like how many people reviewed every episode of this season,
It's like a
it's
huge.
30,000 ish per episode. And then
Yeah.
for the finale, when I checked it a couple days ago, it was at like I don't know. I want to say like 50,000. So it's like way more people, came in and started reviewing the final. Now it could just be that
It's
people
usually
waiting.
gonna happen
It
on a finale.
right, sure. It could
To
just be
that
people
extent,
waiting to the
probably not.
end.
It's hard. It's actually kind of hard to say. But in this case, I feel like it is likely
It's
that
probably a little bit of both. The people like that have always hated the show or that started hating it, seasons ago or whatever. Because apparently now, and it's hard to like take seriously or like believe a lot of the time when because now there's lots of people come out of the woodwork that are like, oh yeah, the show hasn't been good since like season 2 or whatever. And I'm like, you're not necessarily wrong, but I don't remember anyone saying that 3, 5, or
Yeah.
5 years ago when season 2 was as far as
Yeah.
we
Did
had
they
gotten or
believe it
whatever.
the whole time?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Which it's fair enough. It could be the finale ruining it for everybody because it'd be like that. But it got me thinking because I guess I haven't obviously I don't watch Euphoria because I'm not fucking watching that show. But did I ever tell you the story about like how I tried to watch that show?
I think partially, but I don't remember really.
It was like it was like right after season 1 had come out and it was really popular. Maybe 2 seasons had come out by then. It doesn't matter. And I was like, all right, fuck it, fine. Everyone's talking about it, and I'll try to
Sure.
watch it. I watched like I want to say I watched like 10 minutes of that first episode, and I don't know if you've ever seen it, but like the very beginning of the show. So the premise of the show, first of all, right, is that like as far as I remember, is there are a
Hmm.
bunch of high schoolers that do a bunch of
Yeah.
fucked up shit,
Yeah.
right?
Drugs
And
and
yeah, they're
whatever.
all like addicted to drugs and sex, and
Yeah.
they're all just problematic as fuck. And so but they're also other than like Jacob Elordi's character, I think that they're mostly like poor or like middle class at best. Like not necessarily like low middle class, but like they're none of
Yeah.
them. No, I don't
Not
like
rich.
the vibe of the show is not like that. It's not like Gossip Girl. How those people were all like ridiculously wealthy, and so the crazy shit that was going on was also in part due to the fact that they were a bunch of rich kids with not enough leash basically.
Yeah.
And but this show isn't like that. They're just fucking crazy teenagers. Anyway, the show opens up and they're like at a house party, and it's not a nice house, which is part of why it threw me off. It's like some
Yeah.
shitty house, whatever. And I swear to God, there was like a metric ton of cocaine in that house, like just like piles of it
Yeah.
on
I remember
tables and
you
stuff like
saying
that.
that.
And I was like, y'all don't know how
How can
much
you afford
cocaine
this?
costs. I'm like, y'all have never like whoever wrote this show doesn't know anything about drugs. Because I'm like one like tiny little baggie.
It's crappy cocaine. Maybe it's really
But
really
that's the thing.
bad.
I'm like, that doesn't make sense like contextually because there's like drug dealers and stuff in the show or whatever, and I'm just like, yeah, I was like immediately just out, it took me out instantly. I'm like, there's like $100,000 of cocaine in this house, and y'all are all in high school, and even if you stole that money from your parents, no one just has that much money lying around like cash because you can't pay a fucking drug dealer with Venmo. You know what I mean? Like,
Probably not. Probably not. No.
so it's like, yeah. Anyway, that's not important to the story. That just immediately took me out when I tried to watch it, and I was like, yeah, I'm not watching this. This is fucking stupid. Um, And also they're all just so it's such like a
It's a
depressing
little
show
much.
too. It's so
Yeah.
like depraved and depressing, and there's nothing like super. It's just like, oh, what if you went to a high school where everyone was just the worst person ever, and it's just like that's not entertaining. It's just annoying. But whatever. The point is, people really do like season 1 and 2 of that show, and I think this week's episode, I think it came out yesterday, is a little bit whatchamacallit, it's a little it has like a better rating than the rest of the season so far, but this season 3
Mhm.
apparently has been really bad, and it's like their final season. So apparently Euphoria
I've heard that as well. Yeah.
is on the cusp of pulling the same type of shit as The Boys and Stranger Things and
I don't
Game of
know.
Thrones and everybody
Yeah.
else. They're about to do it too. We're about to have
I
like
mean,
three
not
shows in
wrong.
1 year.
I don't know. Yeah, I did hear about that about Euphoria as well, but I think the fans have been calling for like the excess debauchery and shit for a little bit before this as well. But I
Sure.
guess it wasn't as bad as now. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think what people really hate, I guess that like the main it seems like the main plot of the season is Sydney Sweeney's character is doing like OnlyFans or whatever.
Right.
And
I heard that as well.
that's like apparently taking over the entire show, is like every single episode, I guess, is super focused on that, and people don't like it because it's just like,
What's the point? Yeah.
yeah, it just feels weird, like, and because she's not like interesting about it, I guess. Like I've seen a couple clips of like her in scenes or whatever. She's like a basic OF girl where she's like, oh, I can do whatever I want, and everyone's and like
Okay.
people are like, yeah, but you don't have to be like, you don't have to do that. Like you don't have to be basically like a porn star or whatever. Like you don't have to sell your body or whatever. And she's like married to Jacob Elordi's character, I guess, at this point or something like that. So it's like
Really?
a whole thing where like he doesn't want her to do it. And like, I guess that they're poor, so like they need money, so she's doing it for that reason and stuff like that. But it's still like she's not, there's nothing nuanced about it. She's doing OnlyFans for the exact same reason that every girl does OnlyFans. And it's like, and it's the same argument too that she has with Jacob Elordi's character and everybody else in the show. I guess, I don't know. I haven't watched obviously any of it, so I don't know if I'm being 100% accurate. But that's what it seems like.
Mm. I mean, sounds pretty close to what I've heard as well, honestly.
But yeah, The Boys was pretty bad. Yeah, I mean, like it wrapped up like some things better. I was gonna say it's not as bad as, it's not a 5.7 or whatever the fuck
Yeah,
it is right
well,
now.
I saw as much spoiler content as I could get my hands on, basically.
Sure.
Um, I didn't watch the episode, but I just saw a bunch of clips and stuff.
Hmm.
And yeah, I mean, like, yeah, I don't think you can put it that low either.
Yeah, I would say I would like when it was at a 6.7, I was like, that's fair. That's what it is. Like it wraps up a lot of stuff okay-ish, decently, and like where the characters end up mostly is good, but like how you get there is fucking stupid. So it's like,
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
it does.
And yeah, I mean, and there's just like promises that the show made early on. Like the biggest one that is genuinely dumb is the
Yeah,
whole thing. There's a scene at the beginning of season 3, I think, the very first episode of season 3, where Homelander and Butcher basically agree that once everyone's done playing politics or whatever, at the end of the
yeah,
line, it'll just be an all-out war. And
yeah.
like
That's just what you
the
were
phrase
saying in the
is,
last. Yeah,
yeah, the phrase is scorched earth that they use, and that's
yeah.
like the
Scorched
idea is,
earth,
it's like we're gonna
not
just,
scorched room, is what you're
everybody's,
saying.
yeah, exactly, and that's kind of what it seemed like was gonna happen, and then that's what literally happened. It was just like scorched office room or whatever, and that's what happens. And
Oh shit.
because I mean literally, like he's Homelander's at the White House, they break in, they beat him, and it's over. And
Yep.
Homelander kills one person in the finale, and he might have killed like one person in the episode before that too. Like he never goes full berserker mode like the show kept promising that he was going to do
Yeah,
for the
constantly.
entire show. There are so many scenes throughout the entire show where Homelander's like, the only reason I'm not just killing everyone is because I still want to be loved. And obviously, if I just go out there and I'm like, I believe that I'm superior to everybody and I just want to kill anyone that disagrees with me, then people won't love
Yeah.
him anymore. And he's like, And there was a scene really early on in the show where he has a conversation with Starlight where he's like, where she records him like threatening her, and
Mhm.
she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna expose you and show the world like that you're evil and stuff like that." And he's like, "Do it." He's like, "Because I would prefer to be loved, but I am totally okay with being feared." And if oh that's yeah, he's like, I would prefer to be loved, but if you take that away from me by telling them what I'm really like, then I'm totally okay with being feared, and I'll just wipe everybody out until they kneel,
Yeah.
basically. And
Yeah.
you never get the fulfillment of that promise. Not that necessarily not that like I would have liked it if Homelander had won, just because it would have been like I would
Cool.
have
Yeah.
liked the dark, you know, like cynical ending of that, just being like, yeah,
Yeah.
you just can't win. Anyway, but that's not the point. Even with Homelander losing, you have to at least let him have his moment where the threat of Homelander unleashed feels real, and it never feels real. Because the whole show, they're like,
Dude.
oh, Homelander can't be defeated, period.
Yeah.
And that's the whole problem that they're trying to solve the entire show. And then it takes only like two soups, I get three soups. You know, the Butcher, Kimiko, and Ryan beat
Yeah.
Homelander, and Ryan is literally just a weaker version of Homelander. And Butcher and Kimiko are pretty strong, but like they're not that strong. And they've shown that throughout the show that like Homelander can easily defeat Kimiko in a fight. He's done it repeatedly. And Butcher is strong, but like I said, like he's
Yeah.
Homelander. He's supposed to be unstoppable, and then they just beat him in like 5 seconds. And it doesn't seem difficult at all. And that's like a lot
Yeah.
of people. And go
When I
ahead.
saw the clips, it looked and again, I just saw clips and stuff, but like from what I saw, that was I mean, bro was not even Superboy pre nicotine patch, bro. Like
Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah,
shit was bad.
yeah,
He was
bro,
not even. It's not even. He either seemed like he wasn't even trying,
dude.
or like he was not even a quarter as powerful as I felt led to believe, from what I've heard and read and seen. Um, like he doesn't even care about actually like going crazy. He's just like half-assing it, or
Yeah,
he's that incompetent, which I guess you mentioned earlier with all the fights and stuff. But still,
yeah. I mean, it really does kind of come down to the writers of this show
crazy
have
incompetency.
no idea what power scaling is to any degree. Like they just don't understand it because they just it does none. There's like literally, I could take any character and be like, and there's at least one moment where it's like that doesn't make any fucking sense. Like earlier in this
Superman does
season,
not spam his laser eyes,
yeah,
bro. Like he does other shit.
yeah.
I'm
And even if
like,
he did, heat vision beats everything. Like
yeah,
that like the reason he doesn't do it is cuz it would make the story boring. Like it's like and in the boys, they show consistently that Homelander's heat vision beats everything. Like it's just a one-shot kill on everybody until this finale, and then suddenly like there's literally I
like a
think
nuisance
earlier in this
from what
season,
I've seen.
yeah, like earlier in this season, there's a moment where Kimiko tries to confront Homelander, and Homelander cuts her in half with his heat vision like that. And then in the finale, he shoots her directly in the chest with it,
Yeah,
and she just tanks it, and it does no damage at all. And it's just like, what do you mean? Like, is he not shooting it at full strength? And also, why would because you could
yeah. I'm so
argue,
confused.
yeah, because you could argue any moment before this moment in the whole show, if Homelander attacks the boys and doesn't kill them, you could always argue that he doesn't want to yet because that was true. Like he was playing with them for most of the show, and it's kind of like the dynamic is that he wants to have them as adversaries because it's entertaining for him to a certain extent.
Sure.
But in the scene in the White House, Homelander had made the decision to go scorched earth or whatever. Like he was done. So like when they show up, Homelander knows like this is it. There's no more. The game is over. So the fact that he's not just instantly killing all of them is dumb. Especially because like earlier in the season as well, the very first episode of this season, A Train. I can't remember how. I'm gonna look it up. Let me see how fast he runs. It's really fast though. What is A Train's top speed? Okay. It's like 800 miles per hour. Okay.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
and in the very first, and regardless of the actual in-universe statistics that they give you, at the very beginning, or at the very in episode 1 of this season, there's a scene where he's moving so fast that time slows down. Like, it doesn't stop entirely, but it becomes dramatically slower. And then after he does that, and he does it to like save everybody from Homelander, because Homelander shows up and is killing a bunch of people, and then he's running away, and Homelander is on his ass, bro. Like, I'm talking like A-Train is faster than him, but barely. Like, Homelander's right behind him the whole time, and it's a long chase sequence too. And the only so yeah, so it's like Homelander is as fast as A-Train basically, who can move. I think his top speed in universe is like technically Mach 1.
Okay.
So Homelander's that fast. And in the final fight, Homelander's moving slow as Christmas and just letting people like grab him and stuff. Like, there's like the one shot, I don't know if you saw like how much of the fight, but there's one shot where like Homelander almost like he tries to fly out the window of the Oval Office, and Butcher grabs him by the neck and pulls him back. And it's like, if you watch scenes of him taking off, he's taking off like with the same level of aggressiveness that like Henry Cavill Superman takes off when he flies. He's just like boom, straight up. Sure. And there's a scene in this episode where he flies to space and back in literally 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Like, all the way into space and back in literally 2 seconds. And
he cannot even break out of a building.
And it's like, there's just, it's
he gets grabbed, like, by someone's hand?
Yeah, like, Butcher's whole entire body should have been ripped in half by the force of Homelander taking off. Like, it makes no sense. It's so dumb. That's like...
Yeah, why are all the rules broken?
Because they needed him to lose. And they didn't write it well. That's why. Because the plot said so. We need Homelander to die in the Oval Office. Nobody can defeat the plot. That's the truth.
You're talking.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just a whole bunch of stuff. And there's the whole thing where like Homelander was trying to get the like upgraded. I don't know if we talked about it last time, but there was like V1 is like the original version of the super serum that gives all the supers their powers in the Boys universe. Okay. So there was like basically all the superheroes in the modern age have refined versions of Compound V, and that's what triggers their superpowers.
Okay.
And but the original serum was much more potent, stronger, whatever, and it was called V1. And so there are only like 7 superheroes ever that have V1 in their bloodstream, and it makes them functionally immortal, like they don't age. And it takes their base powers, whatever they are, and amplifies them by like 1,000. So they're way stronger than they would be without it.
Okay.
And Homelander takes V1 like 2 episodes before the finale. So Homelander is already supposed to be unbeatable before V1, and then he takes V1, which makes him functionally immortal and is supposed to increase his powers by like 1,000%. And then there is not a single scene after he takes V1 that like showcases the fact that he took V1. Like, if you cut the scene out where he takes V1, nothing changes. You wouldn't notice at all. It's so like there's no scene in the final 2 episodes where he does something fucking crazy and you're like, well, he's never done that before. Doesn't happen. It's just like, it's so stupid. Like, and
wow.
Yeah. And especially when you like compare it to earlier seasons too, where you're just talking about like Ryan. Like, okay, so Stormfront has V1 in her blood, right? So she's like the second strongest soup ever, like after Homelander. And Ryan, when he was like 10, right? So even weaker than he is in the finale, one-shots her with his heat vision. So bad, like rips her limbs off with it. Like, he literally like explodes her like a little mini nuke. And her body's like burnt to shit, and her arm is missing, and like her legs are missing. Like he pulls like a fucking Anakin Skywalker on her with his heat vision. Like, that's what she looks like afterwards. She literally looks like Anakin burning on Mustafar. That's how badly he fucks her up with one blast.
Well,
and so but then Homelander post V1.
Yeah, just chilling.
Still can't beat like 3 fucking random people. And like, sure, Ryan was one of them, but it's like, the point is that Homelander's
got like one good shot in.
Yeah. Homelander's heat vision, though, the point is that Homelander's heat vision seems to not do anything to Butcher or Kimiko. And it's like, his heat vision before V1 was Ryan's level at minimum, and Ryan's heat vision level
Right.
was able to one shot the most powerful V1 soup to ever exist. And now Homelander's got V1, and his heat vision can't even cut through Kimiko, who does not have any sort of resistance powers at all. Like, she regenerates from any injury, but she is, like, if you stabbed her with a pencil, like, if you, a normal person, stuck a pencil in her hand, it would go through. Like, she doesn't have any sort of resistance level powers. It's just regeneration.
Yeah.
So it's like the heat vision bouncing off her fucking chest makes no sense. And Homelander too. I mean, not Homelander, Butcher too. Like, Butcher does have resistance powers a little bit, but like, not like that. Not it shouldn't be like that. Butcher should not be able to just eat heat vision anyway. But it's just it.
Yeah.
There's just so many continuity issues with it, and just not giving people the Homelander scorched earth thing like they wanted, and so, like all those posters. I know I talked about that last week. All the posters were just lies. Like none of that shit happened.
Yeah.
Vought
Which I
doesn't.
think is hilarious.
Yeah, it's
honestly.
pretty funny. It's funny, but it's annoying. It's fucking stupid. Like it's actually funny though.
It's sad. It is sad, but it is. There's something funny about it.
Not a single poster that they released for this final season actually happened. Not a single one, bro.
That is actually kind of wild. Is that the first time that's ever
I
happened?
might maybe in the history of television and movies that might be the first time ever.
Accidentally, sometimes there's a poster and it ends up kind of looking like
Yeah.
you know.
And even if like the poster itself isn't like an actual scene, it's usually like reflecting a scene that does happen or whatever, like in like other superhero movies or
Like
whatever.
It's a red herring, but like it's showing something else that actually still happens.
It's like there's like one of the posters that they just released for like the new Spider-Man. It's like a shot of like it's like a close up of him, I guess, on a building or something, and you see like MJ reflected in the lens of his eye or whatever. And it's like I'm sure that specific shot doesn't actually happen, but you get like the idea of the situation is going to happen. Like there's definitely going to be a shot of him on a building watching MJ do stuff because he's sad that he can't be with her. That's going to happen. Like, so, but yeah, it's just, maybe actually the first time ever that a poster for anything, not even just movies or TV show, like video games, is probably the first time ever that a poster has just been a straight up fucking lie.
Like they actually just fucking made posters and then made the show, which is crazy.
Yeah, and people are trying to defend it, being like, "Oh, well, the posters are like comic panels that they basically like redesigned to look like the show," and it's like that's not a good excuse. Fuck you. Like
then that they're just acknowledging the fact that they can't even do that. They can't even make it to the comics.
And I looked it up. I looked up the comics ending and stuff like that after I watched the finale, and it's like it's sort of kind of the same, but there's one thing that happens in the comics that like it's kind of so the one poster that's like Homelander and all the other like you can't see like who they are, but all the other soups like behind him floating above the White House. I don't know if you've seen that poster, but that was one of so that poster is from the comics basically, and because in the comics what happens is Homelander towards the end of the story when he gets to his crash out phase, he's like, fuck it, let's go storm the White House, and he takes an army of soups with him, and they literally go in there and kill everybody and anoint themselves as the new like rulers of the world. And so so you do get a little bit of that scorched earth stuff in the comic book where Homelander's like, there actually is a war and it actually happens, and they go to the White House and wipe everybody out, and Homelander's like, I don't think he literally calls himself president, but basically he's like, I'm president now and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But in the show, he just does it politically, where he just like slowly moves everybody into place and makes himself president, essentially. And like he does kill the president, but like it's not a big spectacle. It's like behind closed doors. Nobody knows that it really happens. It's a whole, it's not. There's nothing cool about it really. It's just like, oh, yep, I'm here now, and it's like, man, fuck y'all, bro. And really, the reason they did it, they're just setting up the ability to do spin-offs, like sequels, not just the Vought Rising prequel, but like the way the show ends, right? Is like Vought still exists, which is dumb, and all the other soups still exists. Everyone that didn't die by the end of the show is obviously still alive, and and the way that it ends is like that Starlight and Huey basically, they're still together and stuff like that, but Huey opens like a off-brand Radio Shack or something. And then they're using like the back room of the Radio Shack as like a bat cave, essentially, so that Starlight can be an actual superhero. now that like all the political, lying nonsense with Vought is over with, and
Sure.
Homelander's dead. So it's like, so she's the way the show ends is basically that she is Starlight still, like not with like a suit or anything because they're not cool enough for that, but which also annoys the hell out of me. Like I know the show's supposed to be like a grounded whatever, and then there's like a whole thing where like she throws away the suit because it's like a symbol of like the corporate, bullshit that she was representing when she was like still part of Vought and stuff like that. And I'm like, I don't care. Put a fucking super suit on. Like design a new one. Put something on. I please. Like if you say one
Yeah.
more person in jeans and a t-shirt, I'm gonna freak out. Like, but
It is kind of annoying, yeah.
but anyway, so the show ends with Starlight is like, "Oh, I'm a superhero now," and they do make there is a line in the end of the show where they mention that a lot of the soups that used to work for Vought or like directly worked for Homelander or whatever are now just out in the wild doing whatever the fuck they want. And I was like, okay, so they clearly have now set up the post Homelander boys universe as an actual superhero world where it's like anyone that was all the soups that were only doing it for money or power or and they were doing horrible stuff, in the dark or whatever. Now they're not gonna have the money and stuff like that because Vought like basically disowned a lot of the soups and stuff like that. So now all the soups that were already evil but were pretending to be superheroes for the celebrity thing are now just gonna be the actual supervillains. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like it makes sense. Like because now if they
Yeah,
want to
sure.
be rich and powerful, and if they want, to do whatever the fuck they want to, they're gonna have to break the law, and people are gonna know it now, as opposed to before it was always covered up and stuff like that. And now there's gonna be people
Sure.
like Starlight who are genuinely wanted to be superheroes to begin with, who are now going to be able to actually be superheroes instead of having
Right.
to kiss up to Vought or Homelander or whatever the case might be. And I'm like, I could just see, I'm like, the fact that it's so clearly designed as like a sequel where it's like, oh, look, now the superhero thing is actually real. It's not some bullshit
Yeah.
company agenda. And I'm like, that sequel is gonna come out, bro. I'm just give it a few months. They're gonna announce it, be like, oh yeah, it's gonna follow like, and then the same thing they did too with like they get rid of like the kids from the kids from Gen V don't play a role
What a shame.
at all. Even though the entire point of Gen V was creating Marie as a character because she was created specifically to kill Homelander.
I mean, cancel show equals cancel the inclusion in main show.
And the other reason we know for like basically 100% sure that there's going to be a sequel is because when the Gen V show got canceled, they said that in the boys' final season and in other VCU projects, which I hate that they gave it a real name.
ECU.
It's so fucking dumb, bro.
Oh man,
It's
are you
so
excited
bad.
for the BC
I'm
universe
not. I
show?
hate myself. I hate myself that I'm gonna have to watch part of it. But like,
Oh man,
but yeah, and they were
maybe,
like,
man.
so they said that in the final season of Boys and in the rest of the and in future VCU projects, unknown VCU projects, the Gen V characters' stories will get like finished and stuff like that. Like the characters will
Oh,
have
they
like
will.
there'll be more information. And that doesn't happen in season 5 of the Boys at all. So it's like, okay, so you just meant that you're gonna have a sequel show that they're gonna be in. All right, cool, fuck you. Like, but they're the same thing as Starlight, right? Where it's like that little team, like they all figure out that the whole superhero company thing is bullshit, and but they're like, but we actually want to be superheroes for real, so they're all probably going to do the same thing as Starlight and just be superheroes independently and stuff like that. But it's just it was not a fun time.
Boys fans everywhere, I think, more or less agreeing with most of what you're saying.
Yeah. And it's weird too because it seems like I haven't watched the trailer for it, but I've seen people saying that they released the Bot Rising trailer like the day after the finale dropped,
Mm.
and which is the whole thing is basically just an origin story for all the soups, like how it started
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And the what's interesting I've seen people say is that it doesn't seem like Thought Rising is gonna have like the humor or satire element. Like it's a much more like serious. Not like that the superheroes are legit in terms of morality, but like in terms of it's much more of like an action adventure thing as opposed to satire, dark comedy, which is what The Boys is more so geared towards. And people were saying it's like they need to be careful because like the only reason they were able to get away with all the insanely debaucherous shit that goes down on The Boys is because they kept leaning into the comedy angle and being like, don't worry,
Yeah.
it's a joke. But that doesn't seem to be the case in Vought Rising. It seems to be like they're taking it seriously. So it's like if you put a bunch of fucking
Mm.
gross shit in Vought Rising, people are not going to deal with that for 5 seasons or whatever the case might be. It's like you got to lock in and make it actually good, or people are going to get pissed off way faster because people are already pissed off because of The Boys. So like you can't be fucking around with that shit.
I mean, do you think this is a thing that could have legs here?
I mean, it could just because it is like a cool like I mean, the idea of it is cool. Like and it's
Yeah,
Jensen Ackles and everybody loves him. Like and everybody
sure.
and Soldier Boy's the lead character, so it's like everybody loves him too. So it's just like there's
But
they have the things they need to make it good, but I don't know. It we'll see. I just think it's going to be hard for them to start the show regardless of how good it is just because the fact that season 5 of The Boys was basically sacrificed as to create backdoor pilot episodes for this show is just gonna piss people off going into it. You know, even if
yeah,
it is good, it's just gonna be like, okay, but you know, we still remember that you sacrificed season 5 for this.
I mean, if it's good enough, I think it'll make it a lot easier to bear.
Yeah. Well, it's just one of those things too where it's kind of like I guess like the difference if
But
you're
they're kind of
comparing
damned either way
yeah.
to some extent.
I guess the difference though comparing it to like, you know, Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon is that House of the Dragon like or Game of Thrones obviously Game of Thrones had its own problems and like they did rush it for different
Sure.
reasons, but they didn't like sacrifice season 8 of Game of Thrones to build hype for House of the Dragon or whatever the case might be. Like
True.
it was like a whole separate thing where Bot Rising is specifically and like intimately tied to The Boys in a bunch of
Yeah.
ways. Whereas House of the Dragon, like, yes, the plot leads to the Game of Thrones, but it doesn't really connect to it outside of that fact. It's like, you know, 300 years from now, we'll get to Game of Thrones, but that doesn't really matter for House of the Dragon at all. Whereas the stuff
Right.
that happens in Bot Rising is like, you know, it's only 50 years, or I guess it's longer than that. I guess it's like 70, 80 years, but like before The Boys, and a lot of the characters and plot threads or whatever that are going to be established in Bot Rising are directly linked to characters and plot threads from The Boys, where it's like because Soldier Boy does X in 1960 or whatever, this thing
Mm.
happens in 2020,
Yeah.
and he's still around in the future and stuff like that. So I don't know. We'll see, I guess.
They're not starting off on a great note
Yeah,
by
and
having interlinked to this finale.
and Eric Kripke is not helping the problem, bro. This man
Dude,
needs
I've been
they need to
seeing some
ban this
shit.
man off Twitter, bro.
Holy
Like you
fuck.
can't, you gotta shut up, dude. Like you
He
gotta.
managed to say the most. It is impressive to say the most infuriating things, though. At least even the idiot fucking Game of Thrones writers had a limited impact. They said some dumb fucking shit
Yeah,
on camera, but that like came to an end, and they're not responding directly to fans. They were kind of just like trying to get ahead of it.
yeah.
Um, this is bad what this guy's doing.
Yeah.
Oh man.
It's like every single thing he says is just like, oh, no. I can't remember what the quote was specifically, but it was something to the effect of like, oh yeah, well, you can't, or oh my god, it was so dumb. It was basically that like, it's impossible to create like a truly satisfying ending. Was basically what he said. And bro, he was like, yeah, you can't really create a satisfying ending because there's always going to be something someone can complain about. And I'm like, what you're
Oh,
saying,
yeah.
and I'm like, you think that you're saying something,
This
but
is
you're
the
not.
worst thing ever, yeah.
I'm like, you're right, except that you're using it as an excuse for your shitty fucking writing. I'm like, yes, there's always going to be some troll that's alone in their opinion, like someone that would come in and be like, I'm trying to think of something like complain about the fact that like I don't know, that like
Yeah,
Harry killed Voldemort or something like that.
their favorite character died,
Yeah. There's
or
okay, I got one. There's gonna be
you
someone
know,
that like comes in and complains that Lavender gets like eaten by Greyback during the final battle, right, of Hogwarts.
sure, that gets kind of just written in.
Yeah, and it's like I'm sure there's one
But
person
that's
that there's one person that really hates that shit, but the world does not think that like the finale of Harry Potter is like everybody likes Deathly Hallows, but that shit was peak. Like what the fuck are you talking
yeah,
about? Or like
yeah,
I mean we could talk about any series that
it's
I
insignificant.
could even use I'll use stories that I hate, like I look Lord of the Rings. We could even talk about stuff that I don't like. I mean, it's good examples though. You know what I'm saying? It's like no one is sitting here saying Lord of the Rings has a bad ending or complains about any aspect of Lord of the Rings ending. I mean, I do, but I have lots of problems. But that's not the point.
Yeah.
Like the world agrees that Lord of the Rings is peak.
Certainly not Breaking Bad. Certainly not Better
Breaking
Call
Bad,
Saul.
that's a good that's a good
Not
one.
The
Yeah,
Sopranos. Well, okay. There's a little controversy with The
yeah.
Sopranos.
Though apparently,
Fuck
like the
Breaking Bad.
Sopranos thing is like, I guess it's kind of like
It's
aged
overblown.
well. It's I was gonna say it's aged well is what I
It's
was gonna say.
completely overblown, and you're 100% right that it has
That most
aged
people
well. It
looking
was
back on
really
it,
only a thing at the time
yeah,
because like when it came out, and I get it, right? That episode comes out live, and you're like, wait, I don't really get like a super satisfying ending. Well, like there's so much reason why that in time, yeah,
yeah.
it's without a visceral reaction, it's you know if not your favorite ending, definitely an acceptable ending, but more than likely a very good ending in reality.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, dude, you gotta shut the fuck up. You are saying some crazy shit, dog. Like, you...
I don't know what propels him. He's got well no I know.
Oh, I
He's
know
got
what
the
it
same
is.
problem that Snyder has, man.
Oh yeah.
Except Snyder more at least he has hit the mark more times, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, if I
Um,
don't know. It's like it is kind of similar though, where it's like I don't know. I think Snyder was always a little bit better. Like Snyder kept he would like post stuff about like, oh yeah, like look how cool this is. Like I think a couple days ago he posted a picture. I think it's a still from BVS, and it's like a really dope looking picture of Superman from behind.
mhm. Man, he's still posting about it. That's crazy. But
Yeah, and
anyways,
it's like, but
I
that's
wanted to
that's
keep
all
going.
it is though, right? Like when Snyder does it,
Yeah,
he like posts a picture of Superman, but he's not like, oh yeah, my movies were underappreciated because the fans are idiots, which is what Eric
yeah,
Kripke's doing. Eric Kripke's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
he's like,
Well,
y'all are
I
just
respect
dumb.
his
He's like,
opinion. Yeah,
he was like, you don't like my show because you disagree with my politics and you're an idiot. And it's just like nobody said that, bro. Like the show's just bad now. Like that's why we don't like it.
you can't accept it. I mean, like, say what you will about so many shows ending bad. Like Stranger Things, I guess they
The
kind of
Duffer
insulted it, but
Brothers.
really,
Go ahead.
not to a large extent. They didn't to a large extent insult their audience. Certainly not Game of Thrones to a large extent, and not any other bad ending for the most part.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think the Duffer Brothers really like talked shit about fans. I think it was because
A little
they released that like behind the scenes thing
bit.
like right around the same time that the finale came out, and in the behind the scenes thing, the Duffer Brothers are on camera saying not crazy shit about the fans, but crazy shit concerning the plot of the show, and it was like, what? It was like questions that fans had about like the big one was the whole thing was like, why are there no fucking Demogorgons
Yeah.
in the other dimension or whatever, or like near the Mind Flayer? And the Duffer Brothers like in like the behind the scenes documentary thing were literally just like, oh yeah, we forgot, or something like that. They were like, or their or
No.
their reasoning was really dumb. It was like, oh well, Vecna wanted to fight them or something like that, so he made them just be somewhere else. It was dumb. It was like whatever, and there were lots of stuff like so for the Duffer Brothers, I think it was more that where it was
Wow.
questions people were asking
Every day
about
I
the
find
final,
myself happier I didn't watch that.
dude. But yeah, it was like fans were asking questions about things that didn't make sense in the final season, and then the documentary came out, and the documentary was exposing the fact that they either didn't ask the questions themselves, which is why they don't make sense, or they were asked the questions and they were like, who fucking cares, and they just ignored it. And it's like So that's fucking bad, but it wasn't because,
Yeah.
but they weren't like direct. It wasn't like people were, complaining and then they were like tweeting to specific people and were like, "You're just
Right.
dumb."
Right.
They
Yeah.
weren't doing that. It was just that
Right.
we have evidence that they didn't like write it well.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah,
You know, more and more evidence that I mean, it's like the fool thing, right? Everyone can just assume you're a fucking dumb shit, whatever, writer or director or producer. But as soon as you start opening your fucking mouth and trying to fight it and confirm it, like you're always gonna lose. I would say since about I don't know, circa 2002, you're gonna lose that battle.
yeah. Well, I mean, it's so weird because it's like if you write a story or part of a story, and there's a very obvious plot hole that you missed for whatever reason. It's like it's not like people miss plot holes, like you're not like not
It happens,
it's a
yeah.
thing that happens. And if someone points it out and is like this doesn't make sense, unless you have like a genuine explanation that you just like forgot to include in the story and you can be like, "Oh yeah, that's my bad, but this is why it makes sense and it actually makes sense." Then don't say anything because like the only thing you could
Say
possibly
nothing. You
yeah
can maybe own up to it and say, you know what?
yeah like
Like, way after the fact, you could be like, whatever the fuck.
yeah
I guess there's maybe you really don't want to say anything the
yeah
more I think about it.
or I mean, yeah, I guess you could just be like, yeah, my bad, I just totally didn't think about that. Like, but like if you don't have a good reason for why you didn't
Yeah.
think about it, then that's as much as you should
Yeah, I guess
say.
that's kind of
Is
my
like
point.
is that's as much as you should say is just like, yeah, my bad, like I didn't think about it, or it didn't occur to me or whatever. But like, don't pull some Eric Kripke shit where he's just like, you're a fucking moron if you don't understand why Homelander had to be weak in the finale, and it's just like we
You
understand.
trolls out there,
Like,
you nasty little
it's like
trolls.
it's not trolls when it's 50% of the people on Earth. Like, bro,
Dude, talking like it's like there's just a bunch of like guys in their basement. I'm like, bro,
yeah,
it's you're just like
yeah.
you want to be right so badly.
It's like we didn't have a meeting before the finale came out and decide as a society that we were gonna fucking shit on your finale, bro. Like that's not what happened. I promise. Like it might feel that way because that's how like controversial it was,
Go down now.
but that's
So
not what happened. It's not like with like Velma or something like that, where everybody did agree to hate watch that together. Like
yeah,
it's not the same thing. Like that was
that was in episode 1.
that was a
That
concerted
was
effort.
agreed upon.
That was a concerted effort to make it known that shit was terrible. But again, that was terrible. Like, what are you gonna do? Try and you know what's funny? It's kind of hilarious that
As
it's like
advertised.
that they whatever her name is that made that show.
Oh yeah.
She did the same. She complained or she did the same thing that Eric Kripke did.
Yeah, I remember.
Where she was like, oh my god, you guys are just like sexist or whatever. It's like I'm not. This is just so bad, bro. It's just
Like,
so fucking
enough
stupid.
You're right, but it's so fucking bad that you're actually wrong.
It's like I promise. It's not that I'm sexist. It's that you keep making Fred talk about his small
And I
penis.
am.
That's what it is.
Listen, I am sexist, but
Yeah,
like
no, yeah.
your show is actually so fucking bad it does not
that's
fucking
yeah,
matter.
that's the joke. It's like I am sexist. However,
But you're just that
Fred talking about his tiny dick every episode is making the show
Yeah.
bad. It's not.
Somehow,
It's not the
not what
woman
the people
protagonist.
wanted. I don't know how you could have possibly predicted that.
The fact that that's not even a joke and that's like actually a thing, that's like a consistent thing that is
I remember
discussed,
hearing it in the show.
bro. Like I swear to God, every single time Velma had the opportunity, she would talk about him having a small dick, and it was like, why is this coming up?
He's a white man. Need I say more?
They are. I don't know if you've seen it, but I think Netflix is doing like a rebooted live action Scooby Doo show.
I did hear that. I did.
And the
hear that
casting
the
looks
other
pretty
day.
solid.
Yeah. I didn't look at the casting, but that's cool.
I only know one of them. It's I think her name's McKenna Grace. She's like a one of the newer Scream Queen actresses,
Nah. Nice.
which makes sense. She's Daphne, obviously. I mean, not obviously, but she's like a
Yeah.
attractive
saw it.
attractive blonde girl. So
Yeah. I mean, like, what else are you gonna
But
do?
the casting is like accurate as fuck too. Like
Cool.
other than
I
Scooby.
mean, I'll say the last time we had a live action Scooby Doo movie, casting was fucking fire.
It was. Yeah, those old Scooby Doo movies are peak as hell, bro.
I have seen. I'll confess, I've seen the Monsters Unleashed a stupid amount of times, a ridiculous amount of times in my youth.
Mm. I think I've seen the. I don't remember which one was the first one of the two, but I've seen the first one a lot. I don't think I've seen the second
Yeah,
one that many times.
yeah. I don't remember if Monsters Unleashed is the second or the third one, but I think it's the second one. Um,
I thought there were only two of them.
yeah, yeah. I think you're right. Yeah,
Well, the second one is the one with Scrappy in it. I don't know if that's the same one as
that
Monsters
sounds.
Unleashed.
Yeah, it has to be right. I mean,
I think the second one's the one with Scrappy in it anyway. He might have been in both of them now that I'm thinking about it.
I think he really might have been most.
No, yeah, we gotta look it up. Who
Yeah,
knows?
it was two. Monsters
Okay.
Unleashed was two, and yeah, I don't think there was a third. Right?
No, there's just
Yeah.
two.
No, no, no.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my God, they were thinking about it. Shout out to James Gunn, by the way. Holy fuck.
Did he do those?
Ain't no
That's
way.
pretty funny. Oh
Wait,
my
did
god,
he
he
act?
did. That's hilarious.
Oh my God, he
That's
did.
fantastic.
Oh wait, you did the first one as well?
Yeah, he did the first one. I'm looking at it right now.
Okay, I
That
was
man
like,
was
okay.
cooking, bro. That's funny.
God, you're right.
Yeah. Peak cast, peak writing.
Wow. Yeah, the cast is
So good.
nuts. Yeah, the first movie is awesome. I did for whatever reason I watched the second movie like a million times.
Getting
I
Sarah
remember
Michelle Gellar in like 2002 is a crazy pull. Like
uh,
for a Scooby Doo movie.
they got so lucky slash I don't even know how they pulled that, but like man, to
Like
get her for two movies
like
is
fresh
woo,
off Buffy, like that's wild as fuck, bro.
he's insane actually. Yeah, I didn't realize that was wow. That was sick, man. I can't believe I'm looking at a 22% in Rotten Tomatoes right now. I
Dude.
this is a lot better than
Yeah,
22%.
honestly, if you don't like the old
3
Scooby Doo movies, you need help.
3.3 on Letterboxd makes a lot more sense.
Yeah,
The
that's
people know. The
that's the
people know.
correct that's the correct rating. A solid 6. It's just like
And yeah,
obviously
32% for the first movie, 3.4 on Letterboxd.
yeah. It's like obviously it's no I don't know. Citizen Kane to use the
Yeah. Citizen
typical.
Kane would be when you're like 9 point whatever the fucks.
Well, I mean that's just the expression too.
Oh yeah, you're
Yeah,
also
it's
right.
no,
Yeah,
it's no Citizen Kane. But but it's pretty great.
it's good, man. I just remember playing games in the DVD menu
Mm,
for Monsters Unleashed, dude. That was whew.
yeah.
I remember two. This is. I mean, we're a little off the rails here, but I remember playing two DVD menu games, and it was Monsters Unleashed, and it was also Sinbad, the animated Sinbad movie. Um, that I'm gonna get Sinbad: Legend of the Seven Seas. Everyone knows what I'm you know what I'm
Okay.
talking about. This was, I would say, a somewhat forgotten DreamWorks joint. Um, what was it, 2003?
Yeah.
Pretty good. Think. I have a great characterization. All right, Sinbad is just Tony Stark,
Okay.
and he's a pirate. Because he's not anything like Jack Sparrow. You can't really make any comparisons there. He's basically just if Tony Stark was a pirate, just super fucking arrogant,
Sure.
extremely talented, um, and yeah, they go up against God, the goddess of chaos, for the Book of Peace. Actually, hilarious plot when you look at it now because his childhood friend was, wait for it, Prince Proteus. What a fucking name, man. Holy shit! It has some El Dorado vibes. I'll put it
Okay,
that way.
sure.
That's yeah. We're gonna go with that. But yeah, the DVD menu games for that one was kind of crazy too.
I miss old like DVD menus, not just like the
Yeah,
old
not just
Star
the
Wars
big.
ones were so good.
Were they?
Yeah, you remember
That's
how
one of
like
the
the
older ones.
old DVD like Star Wars menus would like have different menus when you like booted it up, like they'd be on different planets or whatever.
Oh, that's dope. That's dope.
Speaking of which,
Mm.
Maul. All right, we'll talk about Maul now,
Yeah, you know
cause
what?
that shit was gas.
Not that bad. I- I- Even as much as you had hyped it, it was a little bit better than I expected. But yeah, overall, pretty sick. I saw a lot more cooler shit than I expected to.
hmm
Um, what do you want to start with? I'll let you.
I mean, okay, I want to start with the thing that was like is cool, but was also kind of pissing me off. Not the show itself, but people, because people are dumb and they don't have media
Oh boy.
literacy.
Oh
But
boy.
okay, so you know how like at the end when when they're fighting Vader on the bridge, right?
Yep.
Which is the best thing that's ever happened.
Did not see that one
Yeah, yeah,
coming,
yeah,
brother. When I saw Vader, I was like, I don't understand how the events of this
yeah.
show
You're just like,
take place.
okay, so you're all gonna die right now. Like it's just like,
Yep.
okay, bye. Like,
'Cause I was like, oh, it's like a trick, but oh, it's not a trick. He's just standing there. He's
yeah.
just standing there.
Nah,
Like,
that
just
that that's that shot at the end of episode 9 is the best part of the whole show. Like when bro comes out the
insane.
fog and it's just like, ooh, y'all are fucked. Anyway, when they're fighting on the bridge and it gets to the part where Maul has to make his decision, right? To leave
Yeah.
Daki behind and go save Devin.
Yeah.
So many people I've seen reacting to that scene are like, oh, this is like the show reminding us that Maul is still evil, or like, or they're like, oh my god, I can't believe that like Maul like got Daki killed, or like whatever, you know, like they're saying stuff like that. They're like, or they're
Yeah.
like, oh, Maul's taking advantage of the situation, or whatever, and I'm like, no, I'm like, this is what happened. Darth Vader showed up and was
Yeah.
beating the fuck out of everybody.
Yeah.
And in that moment,
Well, it seems like
Maul,
Devil's about to die.
yeah, I'm like, in that moment, Maul was sitting there like, okay, Daki refuses to use the dark side, and I'm getting overwhelmed by Vader, and I'm injured, and Devin's way the fuck over there fighting an Inquisitor, and she might die, and if I don't abandon Daki right now and use him
Yeah.
to delay Vader slightly, then we're all dead. Because if Maul stays with Daki and tries to help him beat Vader, they both die. And then Vader catches Devin and either kills her or turns her into an Inquisitor. And then that's just it. And it's like then like you all, and then Vader catches them on the shuttle and kills everybody else. It's like no one makes it out if Maul doesn't abandon Daki on the bridge. And like so many people, like when he like does that little force push to Daki's back to get him slightly closer to Vader, so people are like freaking out about that, like it's a massive betrayal. And I'm like, that force push didn't make any difference at all. I'm like, Vader still would have gotten him. Like it'd be one thing if Daki were like,
It was somewhat symbolic. I get it.
yes, yeah, it'd be one thing if Daki were like 10 meters away and Maul like shoved him all the way back to Vader and like, or whatever the case might be. But I'm like, there was like, I don't know. It was just bothering me. I'm like, it's not supposed to remind you that he's evil. It's supposed to like show you that he's afraid and desperate. I'm like, we all know that Maul's a bad guy, but also it's like more nuanced now, or whatever the case might be. It's like Maul isn't killing Daki because he's a Jedi or because he's a good guy or whatever the case might be. It's like Maul's enemy is not the Jedi. Maul's enemy is the Sith Empire and
Well,
Sidious.
he has like verbalized that only about 18,000 fucking times.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like Maul does not hate the Jedi like that. Like Maul hates one specific Jedi, Obi-Wan, and he hates the Sith Empire and Darth Sidious. Those are the people that Maul hates. He does not have beef with the Jedi outside of Obi-Wan. And it's just like, yeah, I don't know. So that was like a big thing that consistently was bothering me, and there was actually, it's kind of funny because there were Sam Witwer like was in an interview or like a podcast or something, and he literally basically says what I'm saying, where he's like, it's not supposed to be that he's like playing like Maul isn't supposed to be like playing like 5D chess, like, oh, this was all part of his plan or whatever or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just like, yes, obviously eventually Maul needed Daki to die so that Devin would join him.
Sure.
But like that was not how he intended for that shit to go at all.
Probably would not have preferred that it went that way.
Yeah, that was not at all the plan.
Probably in a perfect world, like he, he's able to convince her to like directly betray him or something.
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do.
That would
like
be perfect.
Yeah.
This is like less than ideal for multiple reasons. And when I watched it and I saw that, my initial reaction was like, I mean, it's just like a cost-benefit analysis more than anything else. It's like, okay, I just have to, whether or not it's to save everyone, even if it wasn't that case, which I think is a perfectly valid argument, honestly,
Sure.
It makes sense. Even if it wasn't that, if it was more so like, Devin's about to die, so I just have to save Devin. That's enough as well.
Yeah.
It can just be that, and that would still make sense, and you don't need any other justification for it.
Yeah. And I wasn't even necessarily trying to say that it was because he was trying to save everyone, but I meant like specifically him and Devin. Like that was he was like I have to save Devin and me.
Yeah.
And I can't save all three of us because like we can't just run from Vader because he'll just catch us. I need someone to delay him.
And I think it's mostly like because I'll be honest, I laughed at one point during that scene, and I'll tell you which point I laughed at. It was the part where Daki and Maul are fighting Vader.
I know what you're gonna say.
They're teaming up. They're doing great, and they haven't scored a hit yet, by the way, up until this point. But they're alive longer. They've been alive for like close to 90 seconds. So I mean, very impressive.
Yeah.
And during a brief moment of respite, Daki turns to Maul and it's like, we can beat him if we work together. And I literally laughed didn't even like have a second of my brain. I just laughed. I was like, what? And you know what? I was like, they're dead. They're dead. Why would you say that? You're just wrong.
Dude,
like,
I laughed too. I'm not gonna lie. When he said that, I was like, no, you can't, bro. I'm like, well, it's funnier too when you think about the fact that earlier in the episode, Daki, or maybe an episode, earlier in the episode, Daki literally, like, not that it's difficult to figure out, but like, says directly that it's like, yeah, that's a Dark Lord of the Sith. And it's just like, Daki, you've read history books, I presume, and like you understand the situation you're in. Why would you say that you can't win? Like, Daki's out here like, oh yeah, we can take him. I'm like, what part of the last 5 minutes makes you think you can win this fight? Y'all haven't even made this man start sweating yet. Like,
that's what I'm saying. And okay, they give Daki his flowers, I guess, because he gets one hit in
on the shoulder pad
on Vader on a basically a non-existent.
Didn't even actually hit him. For real.
Yeah. But like, okay, cool. Basically, this guy is a Jedi Master, but he's also dead.
Yeah. It's like, Daki, look, bro, you might be a Jedi Master, but that's a Jedi Master, bro. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
Jedi Master, bro? We talking Jedi Master.
Like,
talking title or...
Yeah, like, you might have the badge that says Master Daki on it or whatever, but that dude's the Master. Trust me. Like...
Yeah. It don't gotta be my title. I'm just that dude.
It's like everyone who I think it's kind of it's such like a great thing. I don't know. Reading like the Vader comics and stuff like that makes it so much more fun a lot of the time when watching stuff like this, because there's it's like a common thing throughout the Vader, like not just the Vader comics, but like all the Star Wars comics that like, and books too, that like whenever someone finds out that Vader is Anakin, they all have the exact same reaction of like, fuck, like we're so dead. Like the difference between, a Jedi recognizing that it's a Sith Lord or a Dark Lord of the Sith or whatever, and being like, okay, I'm in trouble, versus when they learn that it's Anakin and they're like, "Oh, I'm fucking screwed." Like there's like a different every single time it happens that way where they're like, "That's a Sith. We need to run." And then they like there's like one of the best moments is like one of the earlier moments in the Vader comics is Vader is back at the Jedi Temple and
Hmm.
Madame Jocasta, the librarian, is there, and she's trying to like, she's trying to retrieve some sort of data that would help the Empire hunt down more Jedi or whatever the case might be. So she's trying to
Hmm.
retrieve the data so they can't have it, and she's like sneaking around on the rafters and shit. And she sees Vader, like all suited up, walking through the temple, and she's like, "Okay, clearly that's a Sith." And you see the scene from her perspective for a few moments where she's like, oh, or she's like, I need to stop him from desecrating the temple, basically, and I think I can take him,
Yeah.
even though he's a Sith. Like, she's like, I understand the situation, I got this. And then Vader walks through like a security scanner thingy, like a droid or whatever, and the droid scans him. And because it can scan like through the armor, it scans like who he is, and out loud the droid is like, it was like, oh yeah, Master Anakin Skywalker, or whatever, like you're not authorized to be in this fucking room. And Jocasta hears it, and she's like, "Fuck!" Like that's like the moment, like Jocasta was like, "I could take this guy," and then the droid is like, "Yeah, that's Anakin Skywalker," and she's just like, "I should probably stay hidden." Like, like the immediate change in understanding what's going on, and I love and so like watching that scene when Daki is like, "Oh yeah, we can do it," and I'm like, "You can't,
Like,
bro."
no.
It's like you're fighting the best ever. Like,
Yeah, his confidence level was kind of crazy.
yeah, I did love how like one thing I did really love like throughout the show, but especially like the last two episodes was the thing where like when Maul kept trying to convince Daki and Devin to use the dark side, and it wasn't even it like the way that it feels different from when someone like Sidious or Vader does it, where it's like when Vader and Sidious are trying to like convince someone to use the dark side, you could tell that they're like they don't mean it, like they're trying to manipulate that person into becoming unbalanced so they can take advantage of
Yeah,
the situation. Whereas like
they're not
Maul,
really, negotiating
yeah,
things or whatever.
like when because Vader makes fun of people all the time, not makes fun of, but is always like, oh yeah, you should use the dark side, it'll totally make you be able to beat me, and he knows that's a fucking lie, but like, but still.
Yeah,
Whereas like Maul, when he's doing it throughout the show, it doesn't really feel manipulative in that sense, where he's like, no, you don't understand. If you
it's
don't,
like, dude, he
if
could
you
have saved your
do,
life.
yeah, it's like if you don't do this, you will die. Like I'm not fucking with you. This is how it's gonna work right now. Like just the rules of the current game that we're playing.
yeah,
And I do like love that. I think that aspect of the whole show where it's like Maul, yes, he's trying to convince Devin to be his apprentice, and he's doing
sure,
it for his own ends to a certain extent, but he's also
yeah,
genuinely like, this is the only way you can survive. Like if you fight like a Jedi, you're gonna die because that dude is specifically trained on how to kill your kind, and and you can't do it that way. And not even just Vader, but like even the Inquisitors hunting them and stuff like that. It's I don't know if you watched Obi-Wan, the show, but there's like a scene pretty early on in that where one of the Inquisitors gives some like like villain monologue speech or whatever about how Jedi literally can't help but help people, and that's the
yeah,
number one way that the Inquisitors successfully hunt down survivors is because they just wait for a Jedi's uh conscious to drive them to do something heroic, and then once they expose themselves, the Inquisitors swoop in and kill them. And it's kind of like the same thing that Maul was trying to get at, where he's like, if you behave like a Jedi, you're just gonna die because they know exactly what to look for. And even with like the Inquisitors, before Vader gets there, it's the same dynamic at play.
yeah.
I also do really like how, and this obviously could be up to interpretation a little bit, but I like how in the show you're supposed to, or I guess in the action of the show, the moment that you feel that Devin falls to the dark side is obviously like when Daki dies, and then the music plays and she freaks out and starts
Yeah,
swinging like crazy and stuff. But like, and they do set it up throughout the show. But the fact that Devin
yeah,
was already fallen, whatever, way earlier. Like I would say after the very first time that she talks to Maul in like his little private chamber thing, and then he's like, and she's like
yeah.
trying to escape, and he's trying to stop her, quote unquote, because he's not actually trying to stop her. But
Right.
I would say like from that moment when they talk, and you can see multiple times when he's like explaining why the dark side is the right thing to like choose at this point in her life and stuff like that. There are many shots where it like stays on her face or whatever, where you can see her like agreeing with what he's saying, but like obviously she's not ready to accept it yet. And
Right.
then obviously the whole thing where he saves them on the train, which was a fucking great fight, by the way.
That was pretty sick. Yeah.
But yeah, when he saves them on the train and stuff like that, I'm like, there's all those moments beforehand, and I'm like, Devin had already fallen, way before Daki died. It's just that she wasn't ready to
Well,
accept
she
it
was
yet.
like always I mean, even from the first couple episodes of the show, she was just like she was always entertaining
Yeah,
the possibility and like consistent. Okay, she came back. Okay, she didn't like you know immediately fall and like didn't give in explicitly
right,
for a large part of the show. Let's say like 70-60%. Pretty much no progress on that whatsoever. But every single time she was like considering it, and every single time she, and at that point, it's like I think just like not even common sense, but just like I think it could be normally intuited in those situations that like if you're even thinking about it and you just keep thinking about it, like you're gonna lose that battle
yeah,
unless something changes. And literally nothing changed in that respect whatsoever. Only in the favor of her turning further, obviously.
right, yeah,
So she was always entertaining it. You know, it was never gone. Like her anger, her reactions were never gone throughout. They only obviously increased throughout the course of the end of the first season. So like, I don't think anyone should be surprised of how it played out.
yeah. But I just enjoyed how I think I enjoyed more so like I guess the scene, I think it was in episode 9 when Maul was talking to her like psychically across the city or whatever,
Yeah.
and tells them where to go to meet up
On
with
the
him.
old
And
what's his
then
face?
yeah, yeah. And then Daki was like had the line where he says, it should if Maul wouldn't have been able to get in your head that easily unless
Right.
there was a connection between you two. And I'm
That
like,
felt extremely
Daki,
telling
yeah, I'm
for
like,
me.
Daki said it out loud, right? Which is like, if in case you weren't picking up on it up to that point,
Yeah.
but it's like that's how the Force works right there. It's like she's already on Maul's team. She just won't say it out loud yet because I think my thing is, I think the obvious thing is, Devin agreed with Maul and was, always gonna
Both
turn to
times.
be on his side, but she wanted Daki to be right about how they should behave and feel, if that makes
Sure.
sense. So like that's why
Right.
she
Right.
wasn't willing to say it out loud. And then once Daki died, her guilt or whatever about like wanting to agree with Maul but not wanting to disappoint her master or whatever is
Yeah, it was
gone.
done.
It's like
So I
Daki's
just
gone,
accepted
so
it
now she's like, all right,
pretty
fuck it.
quickly.
Yeah. And obviously, she's fucking angry and stuff like that too. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's just so good. I do also,
It's
yeah,
pretty good. Yeah.
yeah. I think my two actual favorite things in the show though are related to the music, and they're both in the final episode. So it's like one is the fact that they just straight up played Duel of the Fates at the beginning of the final episode,
Yeah.
and I was like, not just because Duel of the Fates is there and it's great, but like the fact that it was literally Duel of the Fates again, but this time it was like Devin's fate that they were fighting over.
Yeah.
And I was like, peak. And then the second thing is, I could be somewhat wrong about this. It just sounds because it sounds really close, but it could be technically a different song. But the music they play right as Devin's turning, it sounds like it's a different slowed down version of the very end of the song they play in Revenge of the Sith when Anakin turns to the dark side,
Mm.
and like when he's not when he turns to the dark side, but when he's during Order 66, that song, and when
Anakin's
he's
betrayal.
when yeah Anakin's betrayal when he's killing everybody, it's like the very end of
Love that.
that,
It's a
and
classic.
yeah, it's just the ending where it does like the I can't remember exactly how it sounds off the top of my head, but they play it in all like the old Republic trailers too. At the end of all those, like whenever Malgus is just fucking murdering people, they always play it at the end, and it's like the Sith song, and I'm like, and they play
Yeah, yeah.
and it sounds like a slowed down version of that, and I was like, that's hitting so good right now, bro. But yeah,
Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, it was like I said, a little bit better than what I expected. Maul was characterized a lot better,
mm.
and that's why one of my takeaways from the first season, I'm like, okay, they got some room, and it seems like they've been, you know, far be it from the previous things we've discussed, to take away from those shows' contributions, like The Boys. But it seems like they actually had a plan. Seems like they actually have a plan, Michael, even from season one. Is it crazy to say that it seems like they have a plan from season one? Because like it seems like they have a
I
plan.
can see the vision, man, and it's beautiful.
I could see it myself. I could see it myself.
Oh man.
But yeah, dude, if it's half as good as if season two is half as good as season one, then they've got a great show on their hands.
And I don't know if you know this, but basically it seems like, I mean, it's very obvious if you know this, but so basically George Lucas, before he sold Star Wars to Disney and everything, I guess he had his own idea of what the sequels would be. And his
Yeah.
idea was basically that Maul would survive the Empire and train a new apprentice, and that Maul's new apprentice, Darth Talon, would be the new big bad, basically, of the sequel
Really?
era. And Darth
Wow, that
Talon
sounds actually kind of cool.
and Darth Talon's is a Legends Sith character. So this like
Mm,
which she had nothing to do with Maul when she was created originally. But then after
yeah.
the fact, George Lucas was like, we're decanonizing all that shit anyway, so like whatever. Anyway, Darth Talon is a red-skinned Twi'lek
Mm.
who becomes a Sith Lord.
Huh.
And according to George Lucas's idea for what the sequels were supposed to be, she was Darth Maul's apprentice. And, if you watch this show, it's like, I
Well,
mean,
there's a striking resemblance.
it's like, so hopefully that's not necessarily, obviously the timeline thing won't work out the same way, but
No.
hopefully that's what they're
Just like
going for.
conceptually, if they have like something to go from.
Yeah, hopefully that's what they're
I
going
think that's
for, and
cool.
they'll try to find a way to fit it in somewhere around the sequels or before or after them or whatever, and make it make sense with having Darth Talon as the new Dark Lord of the Sith after the fact. And if that does happen, I think it would just be so great. Obviously, because it would be badass as fuck, but like, what would make it even more great is the fact that it would be Vader's fault that Darth Talon exists for the sake of like
Oh,
him
dude.
killing Daki. And it's just like if you could
Yeah.
like pull if you could have it go back to that at some point. If she ends up fighting, I don't know, like Luke or Ahsoka or whoever, like way down in the future after the Empire has fallen or whatever the case might be. If you could
Yeah.
ever find a way to tie it back and be like, oh look, Vader also caused this too. Like all those years ago, he just killed some random Jedi, didn't think anything of it, and created a
Yeah.
new Sith Lord in the process.
So good.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got a good one on their hands with this one.
I just loved how they made Vader fight too. Like he was so chill
Yeah,
about it,
just
bro.
effortless.
Yeah,
Everything effortless.
it was so chill. Like the fact that the fight when the fight first started, how he just instantly took Maul out. Like he just instantly hit him in the leg and was like, "Yep, you can't fight me anymore." And it's just
Yeah, that was fucking nuts.
like bro was locked in. And also, it's always fun when you piss off a Skywalker and they just start wailing on you with the overhand strike at the end with Daki. No, what's crazy? I saw someone
Yeah,
make
you
an
just go
edit,
like
dude.
working in.
I saw someone make an edit where they edited together when Anakin and Barriss fight in the Clone Wars at the end, and this, and it's like so.
Oh
Like
shit.
the way he beats Barriss is literally the exact same way he beats Daki, like with the overhand strikes. Like it's almost the exact same shot, but obviously,
Wow.
it's just so cool to see it like side by side though. Or if you go and watch it with him just like
So
wailing on
good.
him, and I'm like, yeah, you don't want to. If a Skywalker ever starts two handed
Yeah,
overhead, you should
yeah, I was
give
about
up.
to say that shit's deadly.
Yeah, or even one handing overhead. But yeah, it's just like don't fuck with that. You will lose.
I did. That's you know what? That's one thing that I was actually really impressed by, and I realized it's animated, but doesn't. So okay, to easier to accomplish than live action, but that what I'm about to say is still very relevant for many reasons. The fight design and choreography was really good.
Yeah.
Like Maul Maul's fighting style is awesome, first of all. Second of all, let's just address a couple elephants in the room for me for this specifically. One is my man is literally good with all of the following, and I'm obviously leaving some shit out. He's good with a two-bladed lightsaber, like,
Yeah, yeah.
you know, with with one handle basically,
Yeah,
one
his
big
classic.
two-bladed
Yeah.
lightsaber, the classic. Okay, of course, we all love that. We all love to see it.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. But he's also good, and he usually opens for a long time with just one
Yeah.
fucking blade. He's awesome with that. He does sick fucking shit with that. He's also great with dual blades. He's
Yep.
sick with dual blades. He's cold. So he's cold with that. He's cold with the dual blades. He'll turn on the double blade and he'll throw everything anyhow, no matter what the fucking news is.
Yeah.
So he's awesome, and I love their dedication to making him like skilled as opposed to just like doing random shit basically, like flipping around. Obviously, they had a lot of I want to say fan service, even though it kind of felt like it with like him doing like the twisty stuff and it's cool. Wasn't necessary. You know what? Fuck it. I don't even care. It was awesome, and it was relevant enough, which is I think why they did it.
Mhm.
Um, but that stuff was fine. But I really liked all the other shit with him fighting and everyone else is fighting too for the most part. Um, pretty cool. Awesome techniques, combos and shit, insane combos.
Yeah. I'm just
Actual effort put in.
yeah. I'm glad I hadn't thought about it really, but the fact that there was a lot of lightsaber throwing in this
There's
show,
so
it's
much,
like because
bro.
we don't get it very often. Like no one, I don't think people really think about it, but it's like
It didn't happen a lot in the Clone
yeah,
Wars.
like there are and not
Yeah,
even just Clone Wars though. There are very few times where we see people throw lightsabers actually, and outside of like video games, and that doesn't fucking count because like I'm doing that, like you
yeah.
know what I mean. But it's like uh yeah, but they were definitely like just letting that shit fly a lot in this show, and I was like, thank you. What's crazy, I think for the longest time, actually, the only time that there had ever been a lightsaber throw in a movie or TV show was the one time Vader does it in episode 6 when he's fighting Luke. Like, for a
Mm.
long time, that was 100% true. That was the only actual
Wow,
lightsaber fight on screen, like a movie or TV show, for a really long time.
that's wild.
And this was like while Clone Wars existed, this was still true.
Mm.
I
Yeah, that is crazy considering how
yeah.
much different fights we saw in the Clone Wars.
Yeah. I think Maul might. I think when Maul shows up, he might throw his once or twice in Clone Wars, but I'm not sure because I don't think
Yeah,
anybody
I
else
don't
does
really
it.
remember.
Anakin, I don't think
Yeah,
any of them
it
really
didn't
do it.
stick out. It didn't stick out.
But yeah, it is nice to see them using it though because it's so dope.
It's just so awesome. But like they're also just doing it so well. Like they're not just throwing in some
Yeah,
bullshit
yeah.
lightsaber throws or whatever the fuck. Like he's blocking shit that would kill him, or like saving other people's fucking lives.
Yeah. Like, bro, when he gets mad in episode towards the end of episode 9 when he's fighting the Inquisitors
Yeah.
and he like does that move where he like throws it with his left hand and it spins and kills like those 3 stormtroopers and then it
That
comes
was
back and
fucking
then he
nuts,
uses his
bro.
other hand to push everybody back. It's like, bro. And then obviously the way he takes out the ATST.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. When he does the Star Killer takedown.
That was oh yeah, the Star Killer shit was awesome.
Yeah, yeah. That was dope.
Because I remember seeing that. I don't know if it was in like a trailer or something.
It was. Because
It
that's
was, yeah.
everyone was like, hey, it's the Star Killer thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I'm like, that was awesome. Yeah, that was awesome.
I think they also did a really good job of making the Inquisitors actually cool, even though they're not like
Yeah,
necessarily supposed to be.
yeah. I was I liked him.
Merrick
I didn't
was
have
dope.
any problem with him. You
The
said what?
Merrick, the first one, the one that doesn't have like the white mask,
Ah,
is named
okay,
Merrick.
interesting.
Yeah, he's dope. I mean, it is funny though because they both. Well, Merrick is. You did you watch the Ahsoka show,
No,
the live action one? He's in that.
not, not interesting.
Sort of. It's complicated. Like he. Do you care if I spoil parts of it?
No, no, fire away.
So in that show, he is like he shows up and he's working for like the Imperial Remnant or whatever that Ahsoka's up against.
Mm,
But it doesn't make sense because, and this was like a thing where I was like watching it, I was like, how do you even exist? Because it's 100% very, very, very clearly and specifically established canon that no Inquisitors were left alive by the time A New Hope happens. Like
mm,
at the end of Rebels, actually, not even the end of Rebels. At the end of season 2 of Rebels, all the Inquisitors ever are dead.
okay.
So there are no Inquisitors at any point in the timeline after season 2 of Rebels ends. The 3 or 4 of them that die in that, I think it's 3, die in that episode or the last. And so then Merrick was in, and it was an Inquisitor we'd never seen before, who was
Mm,
somehow alive post Empire,
yeah.
and it was like, who the fuck is this guy? Blah blah blah, whatever. In that show, they eventually reveal that he was like revived with Night Sister magic, so he was basically like a zombie. He wasn't really, so he does die at some point before that, and then they revive him with Night Sister magic. Uh, well, that's one thing that's kind of funny is I've seen people saying like reacting to the fights or whatever. They'll be like, "Oh well, Merrick can't die because he's in the Ahsoka show," and I'm like, "You're all fucking stupid." I'm like, it was very clearly shown that he was a zombie or whatever. Like not literally a zombie, but
Mm, yeah,
an undead warrior or whatever in Ahsoka. Like, because that's people are like, "Oh, he's in Ahsoka, so he can't die," and I'm like, he was. They were super clear about the fact that he was brought back to life by the Night Sisters. That wasn't like
yeah,
ambiguous at all. So
yeah,
either
yeah.
people just don't remember or they're just being dumb. So
People
I'm
don't
like,
remember for
he
sure.
actually
Yeah.
has to die so that he can be revived later. Like, but I kind of hope Merrick sticks around as like a consistent threat for them because it would
Yeah.
just be because he was moving crazy. Actually, he might be the best Inquisitor ever. That we not just for like the way he's characterized or like the coolness of the stuff he does, but like objectively, he might be the strongest of them all
Really?
based on everything
Fuck.
I've seen. So it would be cool to keep him around as like their main threat or whatever. But and the owl, the other one, is also he seems like he's pretty powerful. He doesn't seem as strong as Merrick, but because I
No.
mean like he was putting in work, but he was always with
Didn't get
Merrick.
fucking like bitch slapped
Yeah, he was
by
always
Maul.
with Merrick, and then he was 1v1ing Devin, and she was doing a pretty decent job. So it's kind of like, and Merrick would have fucking destroyed Devin in a 1v1.
Yeah.
But anyway, but this show takes place like right around the time that Ahsoka returns after like her, because she only goes into exile for like a year before she's like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna join the rebellion," or help
Mm,
found it or whatever.
yeah.
And you watched Tales of the Jedi, right? The little shorts thing that they did, like the Dooku episodes and the Ahsoka
Yeah,
episodes.
yeah. Think so.
Because the crow, like Ahsoka kills him in
Uh-huh.
one of her episodes, like super fucking easily. And so and that episode of Tales and like the Ahsoka book take place like right after where this season of Maul takes place. So the crow
Mm,
is about to be dead, so he can't stick around in the show for very long
yeah.
without it not making sense. Like I would imagine, like in my head,
Yeah.
I imagine that like they fail to capture Maul at the end of this finale, and like the next day, the Empire gets the call from like that stupid fucking kid on that farming planet, and is like, "I found a Jedi," and then Crow goes there to try to kill Ahsoka, and Ahsoka one shots him because he's a bitch, and Ahsoka's built different.
Yeah.
So I imagine we won't really see him again. Uh, but the funny thing about it is just that Merrick and Crow both get fucking one shot by Ahsoka. At like wildly different points in time, right? Like Merrick, we don't know who
Yeah.
kills Merrick, obviously in canon. I would assume, or in his first death, I would assume it's gonna just end up being Maul or Devin that kill him. But
Yeah.
when he's revived as like a undead zombie thing, Ahsoka kills him, and he does do a decent job fighting her at first, but then like once she locks it, it's like a dope as fuck. You should just look up you should look up his death if like just it's cool as fuck. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, like
Let me write it down.
he's trying to be like all he's trying to aura farm and he's spinning his lightsaber and stuff. And Ahsoka just like cuts right through him in one move,
I think
and
I have seen this
it's
maybe.
just it's so great. And then obviously Owl gets fucking destroyed by Ahsoka, and it's not even remotely close. And I just think it's kind of funny how inadvertently showing the Inquisitors, especially those two, doing so well against Maul, even though he was injured for part of the time.
Sure.
It's like it's just it's just power scaling Ahsoka even higher than she was because it's
Unintentionally.
just like damn because she was just embarrassing both of them without even having it. Like she treats Merrick and the Crow the way that Vader was treating Maul and Daki. Like that's
Oh well,
that's
yeah.
the difference. And it's like, and then obviously Merrick and the Crow were doing well against Maul, so it's like okay, Ahsoka's just out here getting extra points, and she's not even showing up.
Yeah, that's what happens, man, when you're that good and I mean at that point it's just continuity.
It's kind of funny. There are a lot of people that are coping hard trying to say that like Maul was nerfed or whatever because of how badly Vader was beating the shit out of him. And
What the fuck?
I'm like he
Dude,
would
I when I watched that and this is coming for I love fucking Maul's awesome. Maybe not my favorite my most favorite character in Star Wars, but he's pretty high for me.
yeah.
When I watched that show and him against Maul against Vader, I was like, first off, like overall, pretty much about how I expected him to do, if not like definitely better than what I expected him to do. He was holding his own.
Yeah.
He like
He
was
didn't
able
die
to
instantly.
distract him a
That's
lot. He didn't die instant. Like I think he did. I think it was like a very accurate representation in my opinion.
yeah. Like able to like engage in lightsaber combat pretty well, but not able to
Yeah,
actually do anything about it. Like that's how it should normally go for someone like Maul
yeah,
against Vader.
exactly. Yeah. So yeah, I don't really get that.
Yeah, and so many people have been like, "Oh, if his leg hadn't been injured, then he would have like done way better." And I'm like, "No, he wouldn't. Vader would have just injured his leg. That's what would have happened." Like,
Especially with the injury to the leg. That's an even better,
yeah,
greater point
but
in the
like people are
sense of
saying,
like,
people are trying to use it as an excuse. Like they're like, "Oh, well, the injury to the leg is the only reason Vader was like embarrassing him." And I'm like, "That's not true." I'm like, the leg was just a convenience for Vader.
yeah,
It would not have made that much of a difference.
yeah. People are always gonna say some shit though.
I will say though, if they do like Devon's story right and have her like become an actual Sith Lord and then like surpass Maul, not necessarily in power. I mean, I don't care if she becomes stronger than him actually, but like become an actual Sith Lord and everything. I could easily see her becoming like my second favorite, like ever.
I mean, here's okay. I have a pessimistic opinion about the direction of the show, and maybe you share this as well. Maybe you don't. So I would love for that to happen. Here's what my pessimist ass thinks is going to happen. Okay, because this is a Disney property. Let's not forget.
Right.
All right. So end of season one, just as it played out. She's agreeing to like to embrace the dark side. All of season two is like that, and it's everything you'd want it to be. No complaints. Season three, is more of that, at least half of that, but then we start to get going back to the light side, and either season four that's how that ends, or season five or whatever. But the fuck, that's my that's my only concern for this show is that it feels like it's probably going to do something like that. Maybe it could still be good, but why do I think it's going to go that direction?
I think that was like a fear I had as well, where I was kind of like, the worst thing they could do to this show
You can't
is walk it back
and be happy, be optimistic about how this show's going to end. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like the worst thing it could possibly do is walk back Devon turning to the dark side. Like that's like the only thing. Like, and I literally,
Which I think is a long-term risk.
And I said this. I was talking to my brother, I think, about it, and I was like, if they ever reach a point where they have her turn to the light side again, instantly ruins the whole show. Like, I'm not even being dramatic. Like,
I feel like
I don't think it will. The main reason I don't think it will.
I hope I'm wrong.
And I think people are kind of like conflating, because I've seen people talking about this and they're like, oh well, she, like, if she finds out what Maul did to Daki or whatever the case might be, like somehow if she ever finds that out, or
but yeah, maybe,
or if she, whatever the case might be, people are conflating like her eventually betraying Maul with like that, with her needing to become good again for that to happen. And I'm like, I don't think that she'll turn back to the light side. I think worst case scenario.
I mean, that's worst case scenario.
Worst case scenario. Oh, I mean, I'm saying like I don't think that is even going to happen. Like, I'm not even entertaining it. I'm saying worst case scenario like would be that, and worst case for who is relative here, whatever. But like it's like that eventually she betrays Maul, but like in the Sith way of betraying people, like the way you're supposed to. Yeah. Not because she's like, oh, I don't want to be evil, but because she's like, okay, I've learned enough from you, and it's time for me to replace you, basically. Or like maybe she does find out about like what happened with Daki one day, but it's too late for her. People. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's too late, so she's like, it becomes part of her motivation for betraying him, but like it doesn't save her. Yeah, it doesn't save her. It's just like she's like, oh yeah, I was gonna betray you anyway because that's what Sith do, but also fuck you for killing my master, and then have it just be part of it, and then have what they should do if they want to toy with it a little bit, which I think it would be good if they did this, is have if she ever finds out the truth about what happened with Daki, which the truth is Maul saved your life. Get over it. Yeah, like that's the other thing too. I'm like, what do you want him to do? Like, he could just explain it and be like, look, bro, Darth Vader was about to kill everyone.
He also like saw it like
yeah, maybe sort of whatever. Yeah, like
I don't know, like what
she saw Daki alone with him, and she saw Maul with her, so it's like.
What other information could she get at this point? The push, like, I don't know.
Yeah, and the push didn't do anything, though. That's like, people are like, oh, what if she finds out about the push? I'm like, the push made no difference. Like, he didn't do anything. Yeah. Yeah, anyway. But I don't think they'll do it, though, mostly because of the fact that it seems like they're doing a canon version of Darth Talon, and it would be stupid to, like, tease everybody with it, and then make, and especially because like the way that they've set it up, it's so obviously that like that's what they're doing. Like there's no room for interpretation really. It's like it's so clear that Devin is supposed to be the canon version of Darth Talon, and that they're adapting that storyline to a certain extent, obviously as best they can, with the way
Sure.
that canon is currently set up. And it's like
Mhm.
it just doesn't, like, I just don't see them doing it. I don't see them undoing it and making her turn back to the light side because of that, where it's like you're so obviously doing Darth Talon. It would be so stupid and such like a
I
180
don't use the
ripping the rug
I
out
don't
from under
like that.
people.
I
It just doesn't
agree.
make sense. And I don't,
I
I think the other thing too is, and this is
Say this, my
kind of like a
brother.
critique of Filoni, I guess, but like he doesn't really like to change who his characters are from when, like, from like past their like beginnings, I guess. It
Yeah,
doesn't
he doesn't
seem
really develop his characters.
like he does, but like they only develop in the way that they initially were set to develop. Like,
Okay.
you know what I mean? Like, does that make sense?
Like not beyond the most like if you, when the character like okay, I've been watching a lot of
Like
My Hero.
Ahsoka's sure, okay. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say like how you think Midoriya is gonna develop
Right.
from the first
Is
couple
what
episodes is how
happens.
he develops, and there's no extra shit is how
I think
I'm saying.
that's basically what I'm saying. It's like when you first meet Ahsoka, for example, it's like she's got like some anger in her, obviously,
Sure.
which gets explored throughout the show, and like obviously because they're trying to mirror her against Anakin and stuff like that. But it's like from the moment you meet Ahsoka, she's like, it's like okay, she's being set on a path to become a great Jedi, and that's what happens. And there's not really any deviation from that other than her like losing faith here and there a couple times, or like being a little bit angry about some stuff, but then like getting over it. And I feel like
Yeah.
Devin is gonna be the same, but like the other way, where it's like the second we meet her, she's immediately like, I don't really know about sticking to the Jedi stuff and going down like that darker path. I don't think that he'll undo it. Is all I'm saying. I think it's just gonna be like the way
Yeah.
that we expect Devin to go. I think is what it'll happen because that's
Okay.
generally how Filoni writes characters.
I mean that's good. I like hearing that for
Um,
sure.
but yeah. Plus, it would just be it would just piss people off. It's like you have the secret sauce, bro. You found it. It's like it's
Yeah.
like the Rick and Morty joke. It's like the Szechuan whatever sauce that Rick's
Yeah.
after for
Yeah.
9 seasons. It's like you found it. This is it. You did it. Like don't fuck it up. Like I was gonna say one thing I do hope that we get to see. So like in the comics and stuff like that, the Darth Talon was originally part of back in Legends. She's got like lots of Sith tattoos, like the same kind of tattoos that like Maul has all
Okay.
over his body. And I was like, it would be really cool if every season of the show she just progressively has more tattoos. Like if she just had
Ooh,
like if season 2 she just has like a couple, like maybe like one or two on her face or something like that, and then like season 3 she's
that'd be
got some on
good.
her arms and stuff, bro. I'd be like, ooh. Oh, and I really am looking forward to the first time that they show her eyes change colors. That shit is gonna be the best. That's the best.
That'd be sick. That'd be sick.
And I think I don't know if I want it to happen in season 2. I think I would like for it to happen in season 2 because I think there needs to be a little bit of like a time jump between each season, maybe just like a year or something like
I'm
that.
kind of assuming there will be somewhat of a
Yeah,
time
because
jump.
it'd be kind of annoying if it was like not a
She's a little
very
young,
yeah
if that's the whole thing, and like they have like a lot of time to cover
yeah. I mean
as
yeah,
well.
you theoretically have like 15 years of time
Yeah,
that you
it's
can
not
make
gonna
this
use all that.
show that like take place over. So it's like you've got a lot of time to anyway. But what was I saying?
Well, like time jumps.
Oh, right. Okay. So I hope that season 2 this is probably what I want most to happen is they've established in like other stuff like comics and books and whatnot that the way that a Sith gets their lightsaber is they have to like go find a Jedi and kill them and take their lightsaber and then bleed the kyber crystal inside and turn it red.
Yeah.
That's how you get
Mm.
a lightsaber as a Sith. You don't just get to fucking get one.
Yeah.
And so, and in the Vader comics, there's a whole thing where he does that, and it's fucking great. And would, I really hope that they use that as a story arc
I feel
for
like they
Devin
probably
at some
will.
point. Like, it would be such a cool thing to see, like to see all of that play
That
out.
feels like a layup.
Yeah, to see that
You know what I mean?
whole
Like,
to see that whole ceremony play out in a TV show would be absolutely legendary. Like the whole thing, just
yeah.
like, especially because of the fact that she would be forced to kill another Jedi, and it would be interesting to see how she deals with that, especially if it's like in season
Yeah.
2 or whatever, or like how hard it is for her to do it.
Right.
And they've also set it up because she doesn't have a lightsaber right now. Like she has Maul's other
That's
lightsaber.
what I
Yeah,
was.
exactly. It's like she has
That's
Maul's.
something I really noticed, and I'm like, okay, I feel like they're just definitely gonna have something
Yeah,
explicit about that
yeah. It's like
because
you.
they left the door
Yeah,
open.
exactly. And I'm like, you don't have one, and you can't just borrow Maul's. That's not how it works. And he know, and it'd be one thing if
I'm sure
he.
he knows. Yeah, he's well aware.
Yeah, it'd be one thing if he weren't a former Sith, but it's like he doesn't
He
like the
knows the
Sith
rules,
Empire,
bro.
but he still follows the religion aspect of the Sith. So it's like he's not gonna just let you have
The
his.
rules-based systems. He's
Yeah,
still,
yeah, exactly.
you know.
He's not, and the whole like the creeds and everything. Like there are a few lines he has throughout the show too, where he even, he alludes to the breaking chains thing at one point. I can't remember when he says that, but he definitely said
Yeah.
that at one point in the show. He's like break free or break your chains or whatever the case might be. And it's like that's from the thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like that's in the Sith creed right there. You're saying stuff, so it's like he clearly still believes that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's no way he's just gonna be like, oh yeah, you could have my my other lightsaber. That's just yours now. It's like, nah, bro.
Yeah.
Because that's like, it's kind of funny that they do like the same thing at the beginning of the Vader comics. There's like a scene where they show like the clones are throwing all the lightsabers from all the dead Jedi in like a giant furnace or whatever.
Yeah.
And Sidious is like, I bet you're wondering why I didn't just let you take one of their lightsabers and make it your new one, because obviously Obi-Wan took Anakin's at the end of Revenge of the Sith. And then so that's like the whole thing is he's like, yeah, because I can't just give you one. It's not how it works. You have to fucking take it. Like that's
Yeah.
the only way for you to make your own lightsaber is to forcibly remove it from a Jedi.
Ah,
So
fine addition to my collection.
whereas Vader could have been like, well, I mean, technically I killed all of them, so like shouldn't all
Like,
their
well, like,
lightsabers
fine
belong to me?
weird, like, are these like maritime rules here?
Yeah, like
Can I
what
go
are we
back and,
like? I killed every single person holding those things. Can I take all of them? Like, what are we talking about? But
Oh,
yeah,
it starts now. Okay, time starts now.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay, okay. My bad.
The quest has to be intentional. Yeah, the reason for killing the
You gotta start
Jedi.
the quest,
Yeah, the
you
reason
know.
for killing the Jedi has to be to take their lightsaber. Those are the
Yeah.
rules. But yeah, Maul was just so good, bro.
Yeah, I'm only pissed you made me watch it now just because I have to fucking wait. And I go out of my way to avoid waiting on good shows, and here I fucking am. Thankfully, it's something I was able to weave perfectly with My Hero,
Nice.
and that's been working out real well.
Don't worry, you only have to wait a year. They're releasing season 2 like basically the exact same time as season 1, apparently.
Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad.
There's also, dude.
I mean, that should be the norm. Let's be honest.
Yeah, it
Fuck
should be.
Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Fuck Euphoria. Fuck all these.
Fuck
shows
all the
that,
shows we've been
like,
talking about. 2+ years. It's
True.
like fuck you.
Wait a second. Is there a theme? Taking more time and delivering a more shit result is, I mean,
Yeah.
paved by the Stranger Things, whatever the fuck, improved by other shows.
Technically, Game of Thrones did it first, but Stranger Things did it more aggressively.
Yeah, but how much was there a gap between
it was
season 7 and season 8?
It's like 2-ish years, give or take.
If that's the case, then I 100% agree. I thought it was shorter. I thought it was a year.
Yeah, no, I looked them all up like the other day because I was thinking about
What
that.
did you?
They're like all the ones we've been talking about. It's like 2 years minimum. I'm
Yep.
pretty sure.
Yeah, yeah, 2.5, 2.5 years.
Yeah, I think The
Right
Boys is
now,
actually
I
the
think
most
two
consistent.
and a
Like
half.
they're basically exactly 2 years every time, but
Still
it's still
though,
too long.
2 years for a fucking satire show.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to say it, but like, is writing for it that hard?
Yeah, especially since they don't
Maybe not.
showcase the superpowers very well anyway. It's like
That's what I'm
what do
saying. It's
you
like, what do you
like
know?
what
What
do
do
you
you have
need
to
time
do?
for? Like what do you need time for?
Just write some stupid fucking joke, throw in
Yeah.
some gore, throw in some fucking titties, and then there you go. It's
Yeah.
a The Boys episode.
Yeah. Literally.
We've hit
You
all the
just wrote one
tenets.
right there. Good job.
I,
Here's
hire
$10
me,
million
baby.
dollars.
Hire me.
Oh man.
Holy fuck. And you're getting mocked by Invincible. Like that's the reality of the
Yeah.
situation.
Invincible out here just like this is how you write a superhero show, BT dubs, you fucking losers.
That's basically what I'm saying. Yeah. Mm, 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 mm.
It is there have been a handful of pretty funny edits too of people editing like Vader just knocking Maul over and stuff with the end of Clone Wars when Ahsoka's like, "You're lucky Anakin didn't show up," and then it's like it's her saying that, and then just like smash cuts to Vader like knocking him back 50 feet, and it's like she wasn't lying,
That is
bro.
pretty good. That is pretty good. Oh man, just a little bit late. Wow. Yeah, no, that was sick.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about that. What you just mentioned about how like the act like taking too long to release stuff, making the shows like shitty or whatever over time. Because I was thinking about it and I was like, it's probably like 80% of the reason why those finales are so bad is because I was thinking about
They
it for
forget
me.
what the last season was
Yeah, it's
about.
I'm thinking about it for me and I'm like, whenever I've written anything, I'm like, if I write like a story or like write a draft for a story or whatever the case might be, and then
Yeah,
I take a break from it for like a year, and then I go back,
you got to get back in the zone at a minimum.
I don't remember a lot of the stuff that I wrote, first of all. And then second of all, I want to change almost all of it because I'm like, not necessarily because it's bad, but I'm like, I've got new ideas or I'm like conflicting with like old ideas or whatever the case might be. So I'm like, if you're doing that for Stranger Things,
How can you remember all the shit that you're setting up? How can
yeah,
you remember? I mean, when you're a writer, and I'm larping a little bit here, but I've read some things in my life, and I went to fucking primary school and shit, right? So, when you're writing something, you are not writing down all of your thoughts. Obviously, at some point, maybe you do that at some point, but in many situations, especially with these guys, they're probably writing scenes and they're thinking of ideas that are going to pay off at some point,
yeah,
but it's just mostly internalized. And like you said, you come back to it and you're like, well, why the fuck are you doing this? Well, you don't know that you're also doing that to set up some other shit that you didn't write because you haven't written that season yet.
right, yeah,
But that was the original plan, and that probably wasn't explicitly written down. And therefore, you get this situation where it's 2 years later, and they're like, well, what the, what the
yeah.
fuck was I talking about?
I
And
mean,
changing shit like you're saying.
yeah, because I mean, there are literally moments where like when I'm working on something and I literally will remember. I will remember it. I'll be like, oh, this is where this storyline was supposed to go, and then I will find like an old notebook of mine where I kept notes on like where the story was supposed to go, and it's completely fucking different. And I'm like, so I literally like remembered stuff that didn't happen
I
in my own
hallucinated.
head. You know what I mean? Like I'm remembering wrong
Yeah.
because like the new ideas replaced the old ones and I didn't even fucking realize it. And then I
Yeah.
find like my old notes and my notes
That's
are like
normal.
and my
In my
notes are
opinion, I'm okay with that.
yeah.
That's normal.
But that's the
Like
problem. It's like if you
combat that.
if you take fucking 7 years to release season 5 of Stranger Things, that's crazy. Like that's going to take
What is it even about,
all
bro?
that shit is going to be completely different in your head when you go back to it.
Forget
Unless
asking the people to remember. What do you fucking remember?
yeah, and then even if you did take meticulous notes, you'd have to find those notes, and the notes would have to be insanely fucking specific to every little
For you to
detail.
understand like the
Yeah,
layers
yeah,
and
yeah.
nuance of
Because
all the shit, it's
because
got to be
exactly.
crazy.
Because even if you have
No
like
one takes notes like that.
yeah, and even if you
For the
had
record.
like the correct plot beats written down, you might not
Sure.
remember the like meaning or like metaphor or whatever behind the stuff that you wrote. If
Right, exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like you could have like, oh, like
Maybe you know the direction of the story, but you don't know the fucking why.
yeah,
And you get a situation like, well, you know, we defeated all the main antagonists, but we've chosen Bran the Broken. And it's like, well, wait a second.
that was triggering. I can't believe you just
We
did
got
that.
there. We got there, but wait, what the fuck?
Yeah,
Wait a
I mean,
second.
literally, you take a if you look at like
Wait,
Bran's,
so when you think about it, he does have the best story
I forgot that they said that.
of all of them. When you think about it, it's
In
like they actually forgot everybody's story.
bro.
Well, they forgot everybody's story.
Bro, remember when Tyrion used to not say stupid shit? Oh my god. Oh my god.
You mean the first 7, 8 and a
Yeah.
half seasons of that show?
It really is like that though, where it's like, you know, you take Bran and it's like there's absolutely no point in the entire show where you ever thought, oh, he might be king one day. It'd be different if like the visions and like the weird shit with the tree kids and stuff, like
the ravens. And
yeah,
shit,
it'd be like it'd be one thing if they kept alluding to him being a ruler of something or something like that,
right.
and it's like, why do you keep phrasing it that way? And it'd be like, I don't know, maybe he's supposed to be king. And then if they did it, and you're still like, oh well, I wish that Jon were king or Dany were queen or whatever the case might be.
Sure.
It's like you could be mad about it, but at least it would kind of sort of make sense. But like,
yeah. That's where Kripke would be right when it's like, oh, people's gonna have their opinions. Well, you'd be right in that instance. It's an acceptable ending. It could have gone different ways,
right.
whatever.
Whereas the Bran thing, it's like Bran was supposed to be like some sort of spiritual demigod, and then they were like, "Oh, let's make him king."
Realistically, like gonna be like your fucking seer.
Yeah.
You know, he's never gonna be the king. He's always gonna be like, you know, on the board.
Maybe the hand or something because he can like see the future or whatever. Like that'd be a good job for the hand to have.
But he can't. I don't know. Yeah, sure. The hands. He's not. Maybe he's somewhat of a good advisor, but like he's gonna be in the cabinet, so to speak. But he's not gonna be fucking king. No human being thought that.
Yeah.
And I'm convinced maybe only 1 or 2 human beings thought that.
Yeah. The guy writing Tyrion and Tyrion. Those are the 2 humans.
I don't think Tyrion knew it, for being honest. So
it's season 8 Tyrion. Even though he knew Bran for like what, a grand total of 11 minutes. Yeah. Like,
but, you know, he's got the best story.
That's the thing. It's like Tyrion. How do you know that? You've literally
Tyrion, you literally have a better story than Bran.
But even if he didn't, it's like Tyrion has spent a day with Bran. I'm like, you don't know anything about him. You literally have never met this kid in a formal setting.
Like, he definitely doesn't. I mean, this does not need to be said, but Bran does not have the best story. His story's, you know, it's fucking weird.
I don't even remember what Bran was doing half the time. That's how much his story is not the best. Like, it's like I remember when he fell asleep under the magic tree, and that's about it. I don't remember anything else.
Yeah, well, Hodor, you know, there's a couple.
Sure, I remember that he existed. I don't really remember the scenes though. Like.
I remember some scenes where, like, the coolest scenes I remember with Bran post Three-Eyed Raven shit was like him versus the Night King and like those kind of like mental battles.
Sure.
That was cool. That was actually kind of cool, and it had some tension, and it felt like it had stakes, and it felt like Bran was contributing to the plot. That's, you know, all I would have had him contribute, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
I think.
But yeah, having him as like the magic wizard guy should have been how he ended.
Yeah, definitely advisor in one capacity or the other to the king.
To the queen. Because she shouldn't have died.
King, yeah, king or queen. They could have gone.
And she shouldn't have murdered everybody. Well, I mean, if you're gonna kill Dany, the fact that Jon's not king is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, they could have. I honestly think. I'll be honest. Let's look at the show based off of that. How much better is the show? Only changes Jon Snow is king. I'll be honest. How many people dislike the show?
Oh, let's see. Let's see what the rating is. It's bad. It's like a 4. Hold on. Come on, phone. Behave. Yeah. Final episode of Game of Thrones is rated at a 4.0 on IMDb.
4.0.
That is fucking diabolical, bro. It's crazy. That's like one of the lowest finales ever. That's crazy,
Dude, I
crazy.
forgot the dragons like got a political mind and
Oh yeah,
burned
yeah,
or
yeah,
not
yeah.
burned the
Drogon,
throne.
Drogon understands generational politics.
I forgot about.
Fucking ridiculous.
Oh shit, man. Oh fuck.
It's like Drogon,
Oh
dog.
man.
Why are you burning your own
Why am I looking
heritage?
at the fucking? Why am I looking at the thread from the episode release, man?
Dude. Imagine like going back to like, I don't know, let's say 2015 and telling someone that 3 episodes in a row Game of Thrones
Hmm.
would be rated below a 6.0.
Yeah, up to that point,
People would think
last
you were a fucking crazy person. They'd be like, "You're not from the future. You're from the nut house." Like, fuck you talking about Game
horrible
of Thrones?
ending. Danny should have ruled the Iron Throne.
That's true.
Dracarys on the writers.
But yeah,
Oh,
no, I would say if John, if the only change you make is John is king, I would
that's what I'm
say,
saying, man.
I would say it at
Only
least goes
change.
all the way up to a 6, at least a 6 from a 4.
I, is it safe to say that like we would not see like there would be some controversy, but it would not be backlash like
Yeah,
anything close to what we
I
would see?
I think it would
Or
be.
is it still or is the Daenerys stuff so bad still even with Jon Snow as king that there's still a lot of vitriol?
I think it would be. I think there'd still be a decent amount of it, but I think it'd be a lot closer to what the boys is like, where people are like there's some good stuff, but there's a lot of bad stuff. And
Yeah.
I don't think that the boys' discourse will really survive a decade, or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
we're not gonna like. I don't think people are gonna be talking about like the boys' finale being the worst thing ever in 10 years, whereas no
Yeah.
one will ever stop talking about the Game of Thrones finale
True.
being the worst thing ever. Like, that's just never gonna be
Yeah.
over.
And I think there's no way that that's the case if Jon Snow is king.
Yes,
Hadn't been
I
done.
think it would be more like the boys, where it would be like people hate it when it first happens,
Right.
and then they're like, okay, but at least Jon is king, and at least
Yeah.
like
And you look at the body of work
Sansa
of
is
Game of
queen of the
Thrones,
North and stuff like that.
and I
That
think
stuff's fine.
so many people can say that it's like the one of the best shows of all time, and that could still be truthful in many ways.
Yeah,
Um,
I
even
think
if
you.
it's
I think.
not something I would agree with.
I think in order to like make it to where it's acceptable, you'd have to fix. You'd have to like have Jon be king, and not make Jamie and Cersei's ending irrelevant.
Hmm. Okay, so we're saying like okay, not changing
Yeah,
Daenerys in order to
if you want to
make
commit to the
the
Mad Queen thing,
finale
yeah,
acceptable to where the point where there's like basically little to no controversy or like it's never going to age badly. Many people are still going to have it rated as like one of their best shows. You basically need to fix two things. One major plot fucking noodle. I don't even know what the fuck you call the Cersei shit.
yeah.
Um,
Like,
but just a unbelievable like a self-inflicted wound.
yeah, I don't know. Like,
Um, and then just make Bran, just don't make Bran king
yeah,
and make John king.
make Jon king, make Jamie stay with the good guys. Cersei can honestly die the same way. Like that, I don't think
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that.
But
But
don't have
that's
Jamie renege on his entire plot.
that is the thing that, and I won't belabor the point because inevitably, like every 3 to 5 episodes, Game of Thrones is going to be brought up.
Yeah, well,
But that was the thing that I hated the most personally. Like, did I think it was the thing that ruined the show the most? No. But me personally, that felt like the biggest fuck you.
yeah. Well, I mean, if we're just talking about like, I don't think when it happened, because it happened in like what, episode 2 or 3, like before, and if you look on IMDb or whatever, the
Yeah.
first 4 episodes, I'm sorry, no, the first 3 episodes are all like 7.5 basically.
Yeah, they're fine.
And I think that
Nothing wrong with them.
happened. I think Jamie left in episode 2 or something like that.
Yeah.
Like right before the
Well,
battle.
like it wasn't like him leaving already was so bad, but like it wasn't necessarily set in stone yet the fate of him
Sure, yeah.
at that point.
But and even then though, it was like when you look at it at the end, it's one terrible thing on top of a whole bunch of other terrible things. But when it first
Right.
happened, it was like, okay, that's really fucking stupid. But like nothing else has fallen apart yet, really.
Correct.
So it's not like the end of the world. But then when you
But
get to the end, it's like, oh, okay, it is the end of the world. Never mind.
yeah, you managed to have like multiple massive problems instead of like just one massive problem, like we basically already said, like the Daenerys line
Yeah.
can be more or less muted if you have solid execution and you don't really fuck some shit up. It's going to be talked about, but probably not forever. But more than one massive thing, you just can't get away with that shit.
Yeah.
And I would say they did at least three from our count, like at a minimum. And you could find more stuff that's maybe smaller, but
Well,
um,
yeah. Yeah, the Night King also not really being
I
a
knew you were gonna
threat.
bring up the Night King, but I
That
think the Night King less people care. Not as many people
I
care
don't know,
about
a
him. But
lot when episode I mean, yes, it did not tank the ratings, but people were really mad when The Long Night was one episode and didn't really kill that many
that's true.
people and stuff
That's
like
true.
that.
It was anticlimactic, no doubt about that. It was. I think it gets forgiven because even conceptually they dropped the ball. Execution wise, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I mean, it's a cool episode still, but
yeah, cool episode. The Night King dying died in a cool way. Conceptually, I agree. They could have done much better there. They could have done a little bit better there. They just didn't.
The Long Night should have been its own season, bro. That would have been tough as hell.
Well, that was probably we're already pretty close to like that being close to like that could have been like 5 episodes is probably realistically the original
Yeah.
vision of the show, Michael. Like that was already like massively discussed is that the course of the events of the show were gonna be at least double the length of this season.
Yeah.
Um, to wrap everything up. So yeah, I think it could have lasted 3 to 5 episodes.
Never forget the reason that Game of Thrones season 8 was rushed is because those fucking losers wanted to go and make a Star Wars
It
movie that never
should be
happened.
said, man. It should be fucking said. And thank God they lost their jobs. So like,
Yeah, please
but
don't touch
still,
Star Wars. Don't touch my stuff. Like I'm good.
oh my God, yeah. It should that fact should never be forgiven because like, I mean, Game of Thrones fans will sympathize for the fact of just that like they could have been. There's a universe, man. There's a universe where it's either 2 more seasons or it's one season and they choose to end it in, obviously a different way, basically.
You know,
And they, choose to show what they want to show or whatever and leave the rest up to interpretation, blah, blah, blah. And because these fucking nerds were like Star Wars fucking fanboys, and thank God they didn't touch it because, I mean, if you thought the sequels were bad, God only knows what they would have produced. Um, Motherfucker, it could have been so good, man.
I think it's interesting. I thought about this the other day too. Like, it seems to be symptomatic of all these shows too that not all of them, but a lot of them that have had really bad finales is like just Stranger Things, The Boys, Game of Thrones off the top of my head. All of those, the creators involved with it were planning are planning
Another
whatever
project
another project that they clearly wanted to
are
like
more
rush
interested
through.
in.
Like the Duffer Brothers have
Yeah,
the spin-off thing that they're doing, I guess,
I
that they
heard,
were like
yeah.
rushing through and they introduced shit in the final season that doesn't get explained
Yep,
because it's going to get explained in the spin-off and it's like
yep. Heard
and
that.
Game of Thrones obviously did that with the Star Wars thing and obviously the boys did it with their prequels and sequels and fucking whatever and it's just like how about you finish what you're working on first and then you start working on the other thing, okay?
But
Or
Michael,
get a different writer to do it. Like
but wait, Michael, you're forgetting this one important thing. It's called
money.
Maul. And and for that reason I'm out.
Fucking jack-offs. Like, bro.
It's a shame. What can you expect, man?
Mm. All right. Well, I think that's
It was
pretty
pretty good.
solid for this episode.
Yeah, we got some good content.
book ended it complaining about stuff. Talked about Maul in the
Yeah,
middle.
yeah. We actually didn't complain the whole episode, so that's a
Yeah,
good.
yeah. There was some good. There was some stuff to celebrate.
So nice.
Turns out Maul was
Yeah,
peak.
yeah. Yeah. That was sick, man. That was sick. Well, hopefully, we'll complain more next time.
Yeah, probably. We'll find something to bitch
Inevitably at this
about.
point. I mean, at least with the boys being mostly done, just
Oh yeah. Um.
barring how many tweets we see, probably won't. At least that won't be a huge topic of discussion.
Yeah. And assuming you'll finish My Hero soon, we'll probably talk about that coming
Yeah,
up
I'm pretty
once you
close to
finish My Hero.
finishing at this trajectory, so I'm not too worried. You
All
said
right.
season 8 was better than season 7?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's insane, bro. That's insane. All right,
Yeah.
I will. I will.
Season eight's better.
I'm on episode 10, I believe.
Yeah.
Season 7, episode 10.
I said season 8 and 10 are both better than season 6, but like
Yeah,
season eight's also better than season 7.
yeah. I remember you saying that, and it is becoming increasingly hard to believe, but the prospect of seeing it tantalizing.
It's true.
Because what I saw the last couple days, holy shit. All right, but we'll save that for
Yeah, we'll save that for next time maybe.
possibly.
All right. All right. Well, we'll see you guys in the next one.
See ya.